think they've pulled a muscle in their back, and they don't stretch enough as far as their back is concerned. So when do you seek care from a doctor when you've sustained a back injury? At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, we like to tell people that the most important thing is to watch and see if that back pain is radiating down your leg, causing any numbness, causing any weakness, or any bowel or bladder dysfunction. These are surgical problems usually and require a more urgent visit to the emergency room rather than waiting to see the doctor. If none of these signs are present, it's safe to wait it out, rest for a few days, and seek medical care from your doctor within a week or so. Hope that helps. Keep stretching your back. If that doesn't get better in a week or 10 days, that's when it's time to seek the orthopedic specialist. Hope this keeps you on the field, and keep listening. We'll be back soon.
Keep listening for more on The Road to Recovery right here on 710 ESPN.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GO to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code GO for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code GO for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Let's go. It's time for Sedano and Cap.
A little sabor, and we're going to just nosh.
It is George Sedano. It is Scott Kaplan. Sedano and Cap is on.
I'm going to have to say respectfully, I'm going to disagree.
Okay, why is that?
I don't know.
The LA Afternoon Drive takeover.
He likes to lay the wood.
Yeah. You say Kikuchi.
Wacky forced radio stunt of the year.
Christopher can go to hell. Oh, nothing worse than the horse.
Nah, man, black don't crack.
Benjamin Pratt is like, how do you say his name? Asminger?
Asminger. Hey, these Hard Knocks guys, they're all over me right now. It's like I'm in back of Dayton. You are a bit killer.
Because you got to talk about sperm?
Here we go.
You don't know. You don't know. And you know why you don't know? Because you're gutless, Andy. You're gutless.
Sedano and Cap.
God, I'm going to melt you.
I'm here now, George B.
Double dipping.
Which means we got what? Melanin, y'all. What's
A little two-a-day. I love it.
I mean, listen. Let's be honest with what just happened. I was cold, knocked out in the home away from home. That was literally what was happening. The home away from home hooked it up.
Yeah.
Did last night at the USC game after doing mornings yesterday. Did mornings today. Was cold, chilling in the home away from home. Now I'm here. That's what's going on. Shouts. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on. So it's good. It's good.
I love it. Thank you for doing it. Beto, thank you for doing it, buddy.
Beto is, he dropped real quick.
Okay, so let's can we go?
Okay, cool.
I know you're driving today.
All right, so tell me.
Yeah.
Tell me about yesterday. Tell me about this incredible game. I want to get – there's a lot of stuff we can get into today, obviously, but you were there, okay?
Yeah.
You were at the Galen Center for the biggest – I think the biggest game in women's college basketball this season between number 1 versus number 6. USC gets the win. Tell me about the atmosphere. Tell me about the game. Tell me about your experience. Go.
So there's a couple things. And quickly, again, first of all, shout out to the East Central that made all this possible. That's excellent news. But here's the thing, George. You know how when you go to certain games and you know a certain player has a certain thing on their shoulders, and you wonder to yourself, what's going to happen? What is this human going to do on this night that I happen to be here? JuJu was about all of that. It was unbelievable because we all knew going in. Obviously, the Bruins are undefeated. That's clearly the whole deal here. SC might be the darlings of the country on some level because of JuJu. And she came out. She had a block in the first minute, George. Wow. And it was like, oh, this is going to be a different game. And she gets up. I think it was 21 points in the first half or whatever it was. And you're thinking to yourself, we're in takeover mode. We're in complete takeover mode. And the question I asked on the show this morning was, The idea of people you would pay to see. And I'm not going to bring that back. I'm just saying that I had that thought in that moment, George, where it was like, wow, this is a person I would spend my actual cash money on to see play basketball. And the number of people in the building that were there for, the festivities and the largesse of the game. Jacob Ramani was there, by the by. Saw
nice.
him. That was fantastic. But you just think to yourself, that kind of atmosphere affects the game. Let's be clear, George. You know this. You do games like these ACC games or what have you, where as the scale goes up, the performers that are there have to sort of raise their game, and that's exactly what happened. And I just sort of felt like, man, I'm glad that JuJu got that game in her because, number one, it was required to win the basketball game for the Lady Trojans. Number two, it's one of those things where people look at it and say, well, what does she got? That's what she got. Home game against a top seed, going to control the ball game and win it. And from the defensive end, 8 blocks. I don't know, man. This is why you like sports to me. I was talking about this a little bit, George, and how you feel when it happens is important, and how I felt when it was happening yesterday was great.
That's awesome, dude. I love that the environment must have been insane and fun. And look, man, I think that, I was talking about this last year on the show where Caitlin Clark, I get it. The last couple years of her have been awesome. But that's just the beginning. Like, I think that, JuJu Watkins to me will be as good, if not better, than her kind of moving forward. And I think we're going to be having conversations with her or about her this season and next while she's in college still, about her breaking a lot of these records potentially. And it's going to be a big party here in LA celebrating JuJu.
I totally agree. And she was locked in a way that was focused on winning the basketball game. UCLA was the top-ranked team. Trojans came out and acted like they were the better team the entire time. And that is kind of internally from a competition standpoint, George, within, I guess, the Big Ten rankings, that's still something we love. It's not just about her solidifying her national profile, which is obviously important, but like this specific game, considering how the last couple games have gone for her, I think she started over 10 the game before, was extremely important. Right. Got off to a great start, solidified the squad, was tremendous on the defensive end, and came through when it mattered. Just a heck of a job by Lindsey Gottlieb's squad, no doubt about it.
Fight on.
Yeah, there we go, Lindsey. Yeah.
There he is.
Hola, Beto.
Hey, so JuJu, I'm glad I jumped in on this. Hello, guys.
¿Qué tal?
She's been the girl since she was a little kid in elementary. She's from the Compton Watts area.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, so she was, she used to work out with George, and she might still be doing it. Phil Handy.
I didn't know that.
Former Laker assistant. This is when she was like before she went to junior high. So she's been out there. And one thing about JuJu is that she's putting up the numbers, and everybody's coming after her still. Like, she was like the player of the year at Sierra Canyon. She was before that she was at Windward right there on the west side by UCLA, and she's always performed and then always been that person, right? Always been the one that's getting after it, and then she shows up and still dominant. It's cool to see, man. She's super cool. I did a high school regional game for her a couple years ago with Olin Simplis, who's called the Guard Whisperer, right? Who trains a lot of players. They played Etowanda, and she was just had a presence around her. I'm like, oh, this is what I get now. This is what I had heard of her before. She's like Team USA, going all over the world playing. I think they played like in South America or wherever they were going for Team USA. And I'm like, oh, like some of these kids can't handle the spotlight. She was like all about it. It's good to see, man.
Yeah, and I'll say quickly, George, I'll jump in here. And I saw her at Windward because of Beto. I saw her at Sierra Canyon at Galen, and I saw her here. And that build-up, to me, you're exactly right. She knows how to handle the spotlight in a way that I think male or female, certain athletes, they just don't all have. And not only did she meet the moment in terms of composure, she met the moment in terms of performance, and the Trojans got the win. It was a heck of a night at the Galen Center, y'all.
I love it, man. That's awesome. I mean, that's really what it's all about. I think that this is only going to, like, it's funny because for years we've talked a lot about, the USC-UCLA rivalry in the men's game. But, I mean, this now can take this to a different level between the two schools, which I think is going to be totally awesome, man. What a way.
On.
Yeah. All right, coming up next, let's get into the Lakers a little bit. All-Star break, about Luka, the fit, all the stuff that needs to kind of happen and materialize for them to actually legitimately have a shot here moving forward. The Big CY's in the house. Beto's in the house. Sedano Kap, 710 ESPN.
The Battle of Los Angeles belongs to the Trojans.
The Trojans, bruised, battered, but still standing. They take down #1 UCLA at home.
The #6 USC Trojans knock off the #1 UCLA Bruins for their first loss of the season. Led by 38 big points from JuJu Watkins.
Watkins the steal. Left wing, a Euro to the cup. Lays it in.
And you heard it all here on the home of the Trojans. 710 ESPN.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Winning matters, especially after an accident. At calljacob.com, we're here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to calljacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB.
Hey, it's Mace. Want a new game to get excited about? Check out Chumba Casino, your favorite online social casino. It's free to play, no strings attached. Enjoy social casino games like bingo, slingo, and slots and more with new releases every week, whether you're at home or on the go. Play for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Get started today at ChumbaCasino.com.
Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Empower.
Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisor Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
A great lawn is like a great sports team. It takes expertise and a little extra care to really stand out. That's where True Green comes in. They're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, so they know a thing or two about keeping grass looking like a fairway. It's more affordable than you think, and they'll even match any competitor's price. Plus, True Green backs it all up with a satisfaction guarantee. Head to TrueGreen.com today. Let the pros do the work while you sit back and enjoy the results.
This is Sedano and Kap for your afternoon drive.
Really? Oh, my B.
Yeah.
My B.
Your B.
On 710 ESPN.
Oh! I'll do the Cappy part. Ready?
Where do we think Cappy learned that?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Who knows?
Like somewhere in Pittsburgh? Yeah.
No, that's in Miami.
No, that's definitely, that was somewhere else. Yeah, that was. Come on now.
Back when Cappy had the mullet, right? That's what he had to learn.
Oh, yeah.
Man bun.
Man bun.
Man bun. That's what it was.
The Moulet, yeah.
Don't get it twisted. Gentlemen, what do we got planned for Valentine's Day? Big CY. I mean, you have a young man at home. I mean, is you doing anything? You cooking
much.
tonight for
No,
everybody?
I'm
What's happening?
I'm gonna try my best to cook. We don't have a lot planned. It's just getting through the work days.
Oh no,
Step
I get
one.
it.
Step
You have a
one.
newborn, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So, what about you guys? You guys are in different phases.
Oh, nothing for us, dude. We're old fogies. Like, it's all good. Like, it's like I got
You just said
flowers. I booked.
fogies?
As I said it, I booked. Yesterday I booked it up earlier in the week. We're all good.
Well, do you guys, hold on. Let me ask you a quick question. Do your kids get involved? Are they in the we have to write Valentines to?
Oh yeah. So the kids made like a basket for my wife, which was awesome, and they had it all set up in the morning for when my wife woke up. It was kind of cool. And then there was, and I got Arya some flowers and a balloons yesterday and whatnot. So yeah, you know what I'm saying. All right. Mateo eats the chocolate, you know.
Right.
Oh, of course he does. That kid's a beast. Shaq Teo, man, he's got to eat that chocolate, bro.
Yeah.
For me, see, you know me, I ain't doing a damn thing. I'm working. I'm at the hotel, and I got to fight tomorrow. But, like, romance, that ain't me. But I would always make sure that the kids got their mom, like, flowers or a card for Valentine's Day. But now that the kids are old, we're good.
Okay. All right.
It'll get easier, trust me, when I tell you.
Devoid of emotion. All right, Beto.
It does. It'll get easier for you. Trust me when I tell you that, yeah. All right, let's talk Lakers here real quick. All right, what is a fair ceiling, CY, for this Lakers team?
I'll tell you straight up, conference finals is the fair ceiling for me. Like, put it together. The reason I say that is because I've got to see from these other teams in the West the playoff component, as Andy Kamenetsky would say, the YouTube component. I need to see the playoff component of what some of these squads can do. I'm not saying I don't believe in a team like the Thunder. That's not what I'm getting at all. I do think that their talent is one thing. But I've said this for years. The main sort of advantage of what the Lakers bring to the table is that from an experienced sort of aligned team is that you're better at beating people night to night, the same team, than you are beating different teams night to night. So I believe that if the matchups work out well for the Lakers, Beto, this is a team that can win a round, and if it breaks a nice way, could possibly win another.
This is what we talked about on the postgame show the other night when they lost to Utah, right? I even said, like, forget it. I don't even want to talk about the Utah game, last game before the All-Star break. Like, where do you realistically see the Lakers falling? That was the question for the Laker fans. And, you know, we get a lot of phone calls and Funches like, man, we got a lot of calls tonight because it went from, let's just stay out of the play-in tournament. You know, we could be around there. Now the expectations are, I think, realistically, to be the 4th seed. You know, OKC is going to stay where they're at. But the ceiling, Western Conference Finals, if you can get there, that'd be great. I mean, we still got to figure out what they're going to be. It's been 2 games with Luka, and he's not even a healthy Luka, so you don't know what's going to blend in where. But the excitement level is there, and a lot of the fans that called up the other night for postgame were right there with you, CY. Like, okay, Western Conference Finals. Denver is going to be tough. Denver's going to be that Achilles heel for them, and that's where you have to get through, right? Like, we didn't have any calls of like, oh, they're going to the championship. They're not a championship team, but the expectation levels are higher. You don't have that center. You still got to figure out who's going to play some defense for you. But if you have Luka and LeBron, you should have that puncher's chance of getting to the Western Conference Finals. I can definitely see that. But then I can also see them definitely falling to the 6th seed. So it's just the Lakers are what they are right now.
It is matchup dependent. I don't think there's any question about that, right? Like, I've just said, just avoid Jokic somehow.
Yes.
As long as you can.
Get on the other side.
Seriously, if you can just avoid Jokic for as long as you can, and by the way, I don't think Denver's as good as they were previously because I do think KCP not being there is a big deal. I do think that Aaron Gordon, who has been a real key cog in their success, if he's not healthy, which he has not been this season, I think that changes things. They don't have the depth that they've had. Not that they had a ton before, but they certainly don't have that kind of depth now. So I do think that. Jamal Murray is heating up, which certainly is bad for the Lakers because he's a Laker killer. But if you tell me right now, if the playoffs started today, okay, they would avoid Denver. Yeah. They would be because they're the 5 seed.
What's the matchup, though, George? Let's break it down. What is the actual matchup?
The Rockets. And listen, I know the Rockets.
Take them.
I know the Rockets have had the Lakers number in the regular season, but I'll tell you this, okay? I know that Denver has kicked their ass in the regular season, too, and the playoffs. But for the most part, a lot of these more veteran teams or with these star-laden teams, I've seen a lot of them lose games in the regular seasons to an opponent and then kick their ass in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I've seen that so many times over the years that I'm not really worried about a Rockets team, even though they have an experienced coach who's been to a finals. But they got a really young team.
Yep.
And they score in transition. They don't shoot the ball all that well, in my opinion. So that kind of stuff, you need that stuff in the playoffs when things become more of a half-court game. So let's say they play Houston. They beat Houston. Then they'd face the winner of Oklahoma City and the 8th seed, whoever the 8th seed would be. So I feel pretty good about that, too. And I know people are going to say, are you nuts? Oklahoma City's awesome. Yeah, but they're still trying to implement, like, Chet Holmgren into this equation.
Yeah. Right.
Like, that's not a small piece to the puzzle here.
Banged on last night, by the way.
Right. And Minnesota whooped their ass.
Yeah. Yes.
So, like, I think that this league is trending towards skilled bigs. And I think Oklahoma City's going to win, barring crazy bad luck. They're going to win a championship or two probably at some point. But this did not break their way where Chet Holmgren is literally coming back the week before the All-Star game.
You don't think so? You don't think that's looked at as sort of, one of the things we talk about on Horn is, it's effectively as good as a midseason pickup to get him back, George?
I mean, he didn't look great at all, I thought, this week. And look, maybe he gets it going by mid-March or whatever, and then it become really dangerous. I just think that they can be – I've seen them up close against a good team a number of times. And I saw them lose to the Warriors pre-Jimmy Butler. I saw them at NBA Cup get bullied by the Milwaukee Bucks. And they have one fatal flaw. They also don't shoot the ball that well. They've got shot makers, but they don't have a lot of good shooting. I feel like Memphis is also in that same conversation where they don't have a lot of good shooting. And you need timely shots in the playoffs. Yeah. So I think that the Lakers, if things break their way, they could meet potentially Denver in the conference finals. And then all it takes is a sprained ankle for it to really break your way potentially.
Right. But Beto, let me ask you this. How much of an element do you think JJ – okay, well, never mind.
Beto's gone. Tell me. What
I was going to say, well, I'll ask you, George. How much do you think that JJ Redick at the helm is a factor in terms of where you extrapolate their ceiling to be?
Oh, I think J.J. Redick has been fantastic this year. Like, I think that if anything,
I think he's a plus too. That's what I'm saying. I think he's a plus advantage in a scenario with the conference in which, again, Ime Udoka is obviously at the head of the Rockets, but I think there's something to be said for the fact that a team like the Warriors is trying to figure out who they are. A team like the Thunder are still sort of, again, determining their identity. There's a space to fill in with an identity like a JJ in terms of what they're going to look like once the postseason starts.
JJ has an identity. He knows what they want to do. Like, if you watched the Knicks game, okay, they hunted Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, they did. They went after him.
They hunted those two guys. And I think that's what you do. And by the way, you've got two of the best hunters in the sport, okay? When you want to sit there and play pick and roll and things got to slow down, you got two of the best to do it. And then all of a sudden, you still have Austin Reeves out there on offense. So Austin Reeves could potentially get matched up on a weaker defender in one of those scenarios. So you look, in the NBA playoffs, the way things have gone, Clinton, really over the last, I would say like 5 years particularly.
Okay.
You are only as good as your weakest link on the floor, okay? And if your weakest link can't defend, they're going to find it. And God forbid you got more than one of those. Now, granted, on the Lakers side, that could be potentially a problem too. Like, they're going to probably put Luka in a lot of those pick and roll actions and Austin Reeves. But if LeBron is going to be able to play the type of defense we've seen sans this last Utah game, like he's played the last several weeks, then I think you're in pretty good shape. They've got length with him, with Rui, with Dorian Finney-Smith. Maybe Vanderbilt can be in that conversation too. So while they'll be small, they've got the perimeter part of it locked down potentially.
Hold on quickly. I just want to say something. DeAndre, did you hear what Sedano said? He said actions is a ball knower term. I love it when we use the phraseology of the humans who actually use the phraseology.
He's in the league. He knows
actions.
Ball. He
knows.
A
ball knower term.
He knows ball. See, Cap, on the other hand, if he said actions around Cap, he wouldn't understand that. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Oh,
that's sort of what I was getting at.
I love you, Cap.
Apologize, but that's what I was getting at. Actions mean something to those who are ball knowers, a.k.a. ball. I just need to clear that out of the way.
Cappy would have been right away. He would have been like, no, I got action on the Lakers.
I got action on Prize Picks today. We would have gone right into the read.
Man, Cappy catching strays. All right.
Saying,
I like it.
That was a bit of a cheap shot, but, I'm just getting at it.
No, but George was on a roll, though. But you're right, though, about that, George, with the matchups, what they're going to do. And also Gabe Vincent, too. They're going to be small, but on the defensive side.
And Gabe can defend. He can defend the point of attack, which has been a problem at times.
Sure, setting up. Exactly.
George, since we're talking about this, Memphis is a team I like watching, but are they legit? Like, they're in the 3rd seed right now. Are they legit?
I got to see what Ja looks like. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Ja's been in and out of the lineup I think they can be dangerous, but I don't think they're going to become championship good until Ja can drop a three-pointer. I don't need him to be, 40%. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't – and look, maybe he gets – Jason Kidd, by the way, it's why I will never dismiss anyone in regards to, that guy will never be able to shoot threes, because Jason Kidd was literally one of the worst three-point shooters.
Formulated his jumper late in his career, yep.
I mean, dude, he and I actually had this conversation the other day about it. Like, he was a 25% three-point shooter early in his career. And he became one of the best three-point shooters in the league late in his career. So, I think with Ja, that to me is the thing. Like, 32%, 27 last year, 31 before that. Like, his best year's 34. If he can somehow get to a respectable 35, which is really what, like, Jimmy Butler does in the playoffs.
It's a shot selection issue at that point, yeah.
That too.
Correct. If he can get to 35 with that kind of bounce off the dribble, then all of a sudden they are a legit championship-type team, in my opinion. But to me, that's the next level he has to get to, which, by the way, his running mate, Jaren Jackson, has become a much more reliable three-point shooter at this stage of his career.
Baller. Yeah. He's another one on Price Picks. You like him a lot. But that's what the thing. The Lakers are chasing a Memphis. They're chasing a Houston. And those are teams you look ahead of them. They're catchable, and they're the teams that they're not intimidating, and they're young. And it's like, do they even know what they're doing right now?
There's certain
as far
guys,
as like being able to hold on to things.
Beto, I'll ask you, and there's one guy that comes to mind that
Can you tell us who that guy is on the other side?
Absolutely, sir.
All right, great. Let's do that. All right, the Big CY's in the house, Beto's in the house, Sedano Kap, 710 ESPN.
The Luka era is on for the purple and gold.
And the NBA has never seen anything like this.
Rebound, Luka. Length of the court pass, LeBron. Lay it up and in.
Luka and LeBron, two of the greatest, are now together, and it's looking unstoppable.
I can't believe that we just had an assist, LeBron James to Luka Doncic, and it wasn't in the All-Star game.
Yeah. Catch the dynamic duo as they dominate and make history in real time, right here on the home of Luka, LeBron, and the Lakers.
710 ESPN.
Hey guys, it's Cap. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement, and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt, one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms. Avner Gatt knows how to fight back when your insurance company makes you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope of getting into your home and getting it all back together. With decades of experience and a passion for helping people, Avner and his family take the call themselves. So whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is, you call Avner Gatt today at 818-917-5256, or you go to avnergatt.com. It's 818-917-5256 or avnergatt.com. You call, Avner answers, he says hello. Your claim is our game. avnergatt.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
This is Sedano and Kap for your afternoon drive.
Walks around like a little puppy dog.
On 710 ESPN.
It's 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drop top.
What are we doing here? I love this.
What you got, George?
Turn it up.
Real pretty little thing that's waiting for me.
What'd you do, Beto?
Get a CY. Get a CY.
All right, that's all I got.
Damn. Oh, you made the mix CD, didn't you, CY? You made one of those.
I never seen. No, I didn't need the mixtape.
No?
I had people for that.
No, you didn't make one of those CDs, or you wrote the songs on the CD?
I'm not. I mean, yes, I did, but this song wasn't on those.
Oh,
that was on the other one. That had old girl movie. You know
that's a Valentine's thing right there. Making a CD for a girl back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Big time.
Mixtape. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I go back a little further. Mixtape. Yeah. Love it. By the way, have you ever seen the movie High Fidelity?
Of course.
One of the most underrated John Cusack movies ever. Like, just Jack Black is in the movie. It's really, really good. Like, it's all about, he's a record store owner. He breaks up with his girlfriend. He laments it later. He tries to get her back. He's making all these mixtapes. Lisa Bonet is somehow in the movie as like a musical artist. It was really well done.
The characters are unbelievable pricks to each other in that movie.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
On a
So
level
funny.
that is hilarious.
Yes.
Like it feels like a middle schooler wrote it because of the way that the people talk to each other. It's great.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I love it. It's one of my favorite John Cusack movies. All right. So you were going to say something, CY, and I interrupted you, and I wanted you, because we wanted to go to break and be able to have a full segment to discuss.
What I was going to say is that there's a way that some of these teams that specifically in the Western Conference are constructed roster-wise, and this is something that you talk about a lot, George. You talk about Houston, the way that they're built in terms of depth, in terms of length, in terms of toughness. Memphis is in a similar kind of fashion, and OKC obviously has that kind of depth as well. But the person who went from Memphis to Houston is a person that I think about a lot, and that's Steven Adams. Like, he's the kind of player that if I were a Laker fan, I would wish was on that specific team. There's some, I'm being funny, but I'm not. I love Steven Adams like a mug, and the fact that he's shifted from the squad that you were talking about, George, in terms of there's something they just don't have without Ja turning it back on, to the fact that he's now a Rocket. I'm like, oh, this guy's like the perfect. I thought this guy was the perfect piece for years. You know what I mean? But I specifically think that this season, I think he's going to be a factor when the playoffs start. I cannot believe I'm saying that about this old man.
See why the post game every single day is, man, Steven Adams would be great for the Lakers.
I love Steven Adams.
Right
Nothing
before the
not
trade
to
deadline.
like.
How do we get Steven Adams? Let's give them Jay Hood Shafino. Like, no, you're going to need more than that.
He's too valuable, yeah.
And Steven Adams is a bruiser, and he's not one you want to mess with, man. That dude is a dude. But every single postgame was like, Steven Adams was the name. Murray was a name that everybody wanted. So you're right there, CY. You're like, those are the kind of guys the Lakers would love.
Hell, the Rams could use Steven Adams at this point, as far as I'm concerned. But that's just me being funny.
Yeah, I am not as big on Steven Adams as maybe you guys are.
Okay.
Like, I think. I mean, he's better than Alex Len. I'll give you that.
That's
the
thing. Like, compared to what you have, George. I'm not saying he's a savior, but you're going to give me Len and Jackson Hayes?
This just like reminds me of like when you get to these moments, right, where these like super teams or these super tandems are created. That like I love how granular we get with like the roster construction. It's like Steven Adams needs to be the final piece.
It's
man.
a ridiculous thing to
Come
say. Don't get me
on.
wrong. I understand that.
No,
But
I think it's
Steven
awesome.
Adams for a
Like
while.
I think it's amazing that that's where we are when it comes to this stuff. Because the reality is, like, the buyout market is genuinely not super fruitful, like, historically in the NBA.
They're there for a reason.
Honestly, the last time I remember, like, someone, and maybe there's someone since then, but the last buyout market guy I remember in the NBA was Chris Birdman Anderson with LeBron, Wade, and Bosh.
Birdman.
They got him, and they legit went, I think, through until the NBA Finals. I want to say, no, in the regular season, they were like 39-4 or something like that.
Sure.
Something ridiculous when they added him to. It was probably pretty close to that. So there's just not a lot of history of the buyout guy being like someone that's super impactful.
Oh, man.
George,
Except for, wasn't Kevin Love when he went to the Heat? Wasn't that situation?
Yeah, I mean, he right, but again, like, even Birdman was more impactful than that because he, like, started it, if I recalled correctly. So, like, but, like, Kevin Love was giving them, like, 15 minutes. That was a good buyout move. They did get to the finals that year. That's not a bad one, Lindsay.
Does that qualify as a Cleveland alert?
Well, he did come.
Well, he came from Cleveland to Miami,
so
and they did go to the finals, right? Yeah. And he did play. He did help them. I mean, he was
were
not
mad.
as impactful.
They're still mad
as
about
Birdman
it to this
was.
day.
See, George, you saw I snuffed that out right there. That was a mini Cleveland alert.
I was just waiting for Birdman.
Birdman.
Birdman was really good, though. Like, he was good. Kevin Love was solid for them. He was a good, solid pickup.
Sure.
But just not a lot of buyout stuff historically that has helped.
Yeah, I always love when you do go back and look at what Birdman his first day of NBA when he was all clean cut to where he
Yeah,
is.
and then you see all the tats all over him. Yeah.
Whoa, every media
Things
day where he
changed.
looked like.
Things
George, you would have
changed.
loved this the other day on the post game. We had a caller who was a Kings fan who lives in LA, and this dude was hot. He's like, "What is wrong with you Laker fans? Alex Len is not a savior. I've watched him.
Yeah,
he's
he's not.
terrible.
He's
He's
not good."
trash. Why?" And like he was like legit getting mad. He's not gonna do anything for you. And you can see Funches in the studio like, "What's wrong with this guy?" Like Funches like telling me to cut him off. I'm like, "No, man, keep
Well,
going." I
because
was like,
it's true though. Like it's that. It's oh my God, Alex Len's here. Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, yo, Alex Len's not that good, bro. You know what I mean?
Sacramento doesn't
Alex
want
Len
to go with
went
the
to
Kings.
Maryland. Maryland has not turned out any stars for 25 years. They turn out solid NBA players.
Yo, Steve Blake. Shout out to Steve Blake.
That would
okay?
qualify as 25 years ago, George. That's my
What
point.
up, Grievous Vasquez? Let's go, Grievous.
Again,
Venezuelano.
I repeat, these were multiple decades ago. That's what I'm trying to say, guys.
Steve
all I got
Blake,
for the-
great Laker, by the way. Steve
Yeah,
Blake.
I love Steve Blake.
So yeah, look, I just think that I think they're going to be in the mix, right? As long as they can figure out the defense and I think that they need to, and I think they will, as I kind of alluded to earlier. Once they get to the playoffs, this thing is going to be like, all right, LeBron, where's the mismatch? All right, Luka, where's the mismatch? Like, and I think that's how you're going to play. And, you know, JJ, I mean, if I can think of it, JJ is certainly smart enough to think of it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's going to be fascinating to see how far this team can get because I don't think anyone really knows, right? And I don't even think they know. You know, if they get the wrong matchup, it could be one round. It could be 3. You know, who the hell knows?
Yeah,
I think the playoffs are going to be huge for JJ because you could see the evolution of him as a coach getting comfortable and actually knowing what to do the role. Like he knows ball, as DeAndre would say, but it's more of the matchups what you're going to do. Because when you go and you like what they did against the Knicks, George, go back to that. That's when we were at Cosm, right? And Cosm, everybody was watching. We were doing the postgame from there. And then about third quarter, like nobody's really watching anymore because the Lakers were in such great control that they took the Knicks out of it. And I think that's where having the veteran assistant coaches on his side combined with those young assistants that sit in the second row, like Greg St. Jean, who is a young assistant for them, who the matchups and the plays that they have or where you're going to get after, I think that's going to be huge for the Lakers. Yeah, you're going to have LeBron, you're going to have Luka, but I think the coaching is going to be huge for them when they get to, okay, you have an entire series to focus on one team. I think that's where the advantage is going to be for them.
George, I know you I don't know how long you're going to be here because I know you got to run, but like, let me ask you this.
Yeah, I got like another 35 minutes.
Okay.
Let's go.
Well, then we can talk about this on the other side then. Fine. I have a question for you.
Okay, let's do that. We have a question. Question to be answered on the other side. The big CY is in the house. Beto's in the house. Sedano Kap, 710 ESPN.
Some of the biggest names in NBA history played for the purple and gold.
Chamberlain, West, Kareem, Magic, Kobe, Shaq, LeBron.
And now, Luka.
The Lakers play on 710 ESPN.
The Lake Show is back in the hunt for their 18th title.
Getting to play for the Lakers, and everybody can say that. And many, many legends pass here, many, many championships. So that's my goal.
Live the excitement of the purple and gold right here.
Right here on 710 ESPN.
Real love begins with self-love. So, yeah. Hello, Sage Spa. Book my massage for Tuesday morning. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
Get a classic car Bluetooth speaker when you earn 500 points on your rewards card, the 18th.
Number 2.
Shy and Montel Jordan, live February 15th. Get tickets now.
And the number 1 reason.
President's Day freebie. Rewards members get an American flag trucker hat free, the 17th.
Morongo, good times.
You never expect a Hail Mary pass to win and end the game or getting into an accident. Hey, it's Trav with DeMarco.
Only one all-star defense team you can call to defend you. The personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Visit NormandLegal.com or call 213-747-2000.
Don't get sacked by others. Joseph will help you achieve the maximum compensation you deserve. Visit NormandLegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Let Joseph and his team score a touchdown for you.
Why do we grill to order at Waba Grill? Because it's just better for you. And our Asian-inspired menu has high-quality proteins that are healthier for you. Our steamed vegetables and signature salads are made fresh for you. Our sauces are more flavorful for you. From sweet and spicy to fiery hot. Right now, get our Value Bowl combo for only $8.99. Download the Waba Rewards app or order online at wabagrill.com. Waba Grill, it's for you.
Travis Rogers and DeMarco Farr.
Back Monday at 9 a.m. after Clinton and Friends.
Luka has a chance to be the #1 guy in the world, or at least in America. To be the guy for the Los Angeles Lakers?
Big job.
What's bigger than that?
Not much.
And winning championships.
Not much.
Who's more famous than him?
NFL players, but that's about it.
You still think the quarterback?
In this country. Internationally, probably not.
If Luka is winning championships and the Lakers are back to their dominant, excellent self, like I'm talking back to the old school days when they're running off 10 in a row ugly stuff.
Yep.
And Luka is at the forefront.
Yep.
Am I getting too far to say Luka could actually challenge that?
I think he would be on the short list.
That guy, that talent, the way he plays here.
I don't think it's a Luka thing. I think it's an NBA versus NFL thing. That's the only reason that I would make that argument. But I think it's close.
Weekday mornings at 9 a.m.
It's Travis and DeMarco
on 710 ESPN. 710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
710 ESPN.
Sedano and Kap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN.
It's time for What You Need to Know.
Let's do it. What you need to know right now.
What you need to know is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. But before we take it to Lindsay, I just wanted for the record to know what you need to know is that when Cappy's not here, we absolutely break on time. Hell, we even broke early.
DeAndre just mentioned that.
So for the record,
Large
okay,
discussion in this
it is
room.
never me that makes us break late, okay?
Oh, yesterday was an all-timer. It wasn't just breaking. It was like ending
Oh, my
the
God.
show.
So
Oh,
let's
my
me
God.
tell that story before we get it over to Lindsay. So yesterday we had to do the extra 30 minutes, right, because of the USC-UCLA game. And we were like, you know what? We went really long with Kirk Morrison talking about the Matthew Stafford stuff, which was really fascinating because obviously he has a unique perspective to this, not only being the Rams, post-game, pre- and post-game guy, but obviously having played in the National Football League and talking to so many people because he still does stuff on the NFL radio, on NFL Network, on Sirius XM and all that, right? So we had this incredible conversation with him about it. So I'm like, it was 2 hours ago. We should re-air that. That was good content. So Lindsay and I and Cappy and DeAndre all talk it out, right? And we say, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this lead up, and we're going to live toss to it, okay, right at the, like 6:03:40. Lindsay had timed it all out.
Love this.
And Cappy gets it back to me at 6:02:40. So I'm like, okay, I got a minute to set this up to literally hit the phrase that I said right before Kirk comes on the air. And, dog, I go there, and I hit that thing on the money.
Bang the post. To the second.
6:03:40, okay? And all of a sudden, Cappy starts talking. No.
He goes, well,
And I slammed the table.
Did he hit the let me get this straight?
I don't know what he said, but all I did was slam the table. I threw my hands up behind my head, and I turned around, and I was just like, I can't believe he did. So,
and then he goes, what? Was I supposed to know exactly what you were supposed to say there?
And I was like, yes, we discussed all of this already. And it was hilarious, but I was furious. And I was just like, come on, man.
That would have drove me over a wall.
He said, did I not get the out cue? Did I not get it?
Did I not get the out cue is what he said. And I was just like,
George was genuinely angry
I wanted to strangle
for that
him.
1 second, the look of anguish on his face and just the way he just wanted to be like, bleep you, Cappy.
I wanted to strangle him. And
What?
Eventually, I got over it and I started laughing. Like before we left, like as the interview was playing, like they could hear me howling with laughter because it was what else are you gonna do? And then I called him and laughed at him and I said, "What is wrong with you?" Like he's like, "I didn't hear it. I didn't do." And I was like, "Okay, whatever, it doesn't matter." Wow. But Grant in LA, who is the best? No, sorry, Crypto Ray, you're not at his skill level just yet.
Grant's legit.
He's the best Photoshopper in the game. He had a picture of me and Cappy on the top, like it was a split picture, and on the top it's Cappy with his face like, uh-oh, what did I just do? And it's me with my hands on my head, and then it's a picture of LeBron and J.R. Smith in the NBA Finals when
he's pointing at him doing
when
the
he's
arm
pointing at him with
gesture.
both hands.
I'm doing it on the YouTube.
Yes, and I said, I now truly understand how LeBron felt in that moment.
Earl Smith Jr. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That would have driven me up a wall. I would have gone crazy.
Like, how does he, why did I even say how? I should already know. It's Cappy.
I said to DeAndre, I was like, did he had to have done that on purpose, right? Right? Because we gave him
he
the
completely
tie.
forgot. He completely forgot what we had discussed earlier, what you had text. Like, all that was out the window.
Cool. He responded.
He
to
wrote.
the
He
text.
did. He responded.
I think
he
cool
wrote
might
cool.
be a tell for I'm not paying attention.
I guess that's fair.
We need to pick that up at this
I
point.
will say this, not to just rip on Cappy. In the future, to avoid those situations, once I'm talking up to the
You
ramp,
just pot him down.
Yeah.
correct. Yeah, you should just turn his mic.
And for what it's worth, I was
It's a
talking.
box out situation.
I was telling him down the line because I had to count you guys down. I gave you 2 minutes and then 30, then 10. I told Cappy during the break, and he said, okay. And then I reminded him, and I said 1 minute when we had 1 minute before you were going to do the toss. And he still just was like,
Wait,
Right, and I
that.
just said, I just talked for that last minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
I love
just
that
inside
everybody was
radio
in on it.
baseball. Down the line means when Lindsay talks to people that are on the radio line but cannot be heard over the air. That's what down the line means, kiddos.
You know what? See why? I believe everybody that's listening knows all the radio lingo because we give so much behind the scenes
Well, there's
now.
a new audience, because
No,
Clinton Friends is bringing in audience.
No, I think because we always have to explain what Cappy did wrong,
That's true.
that everybody
Yeah, so they
now
know
understands what's going on.
Yeah.
This guy.
so George was just like, all right, just play the thing.
That's frustrating.
I wish I would have watched yesterday George's face.
It
just
was-
like
it
how
was great.
hot.
Might
he
have to
got.
go back to check that out.
It's like
El
Mandy's.
Cubano.
Yeah, DeAndre goes back. He's like, clip that for the Mandy's.
Oh, I went back and I cut it real quick, and I was like, throw it in the Mandy's foot. It's
Lift
ready
that
to
for
go.
the Mandy's is great work. I love it.
You're right though, Liz, because when I work with Kaplan, I don't even care what the clock is because I know we're not going to ever get around it.
Yep.
And it's just he just breaks out of nowhere sometimes, and just like okay, come on. I'm like, wait, we were in the middle of the conversation right now, and he just okay with George. Oh, we're on point.
Cap
with
also
Mason,
has,
on point.
Yes, he also has the longest outs and the longest resetting it back up. Like we'll be doing what you need to know at the top of the hour. And before he says what you need to know, he resets
He's
it for
gotten
about
way
2
more
minutes.
efficient, though. I will give him
There
credit.
was a time
We
where
got
the resets
we
were
got
an actual
DeAndre.
problem.
He does. We got
You're not here,
DeAndre
George.
running the ones and twos, running this thing. We got Clinton Yates in studio.
The big CY.
The big
President of
CY.
the Handsome Man Community local chapter.
And we
He goes
got
through
Lindsay
every word.
Baseball
He's
with
the
what we need
only
to know.
person that still says every single word of the president of the local chapter of the Handsome Man Community. That bit would no longer exist if it weren't for Cappy resetting it all the time, which I love, by the way.
Yeah. By the way, Troy Lake, all right? I'm going to go at you right
God.
now, okay? I saw you in the community saying that bleeping on the Lakers fans is lazy radio. Who's bleeping on Laker fans? We're just making fun of a small sect of fans that Beto was talking about on the postgame show that were making Alex Len
Get your people, Beto.
out to be like, I don't know, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Get your people,
okay?
Beto. Get your
I mean, what
people.
bleeping on Laker fans?
Guys are crying on the air on your post-game show. Beto. Get your people.
Troy Lake, I love you,
listen
dude.
to the show.
Troy Lake, I love you, dude. Okay, seriously. You're a great fan, but you said you had to turn it off? Grow up, dude. Grow up, okay? No manches.
Luka came to town. I got to cry. I'm a crier. I am a crier. I see a commercial about a guy who had to save his dog. I see a commercial about a mom who surprises their kid at elementary school after coming back from deployment. I see a commercial or an ad or a video about a kid who hits a three from half court when he was never supposed to get in the game. I cry. I'm not crying at Luka Doncic coming to the Lakers.
Eddie says,
leave that guy alone. Leave Hooper's X alone, bro.
I like Hooper's X.
Eddie says, might as well talk about the DeMarco incident again, too, haha. Honestly, though, if Cappy were here, we'd be talking about this. So it's not like we're talking about something he wouldn't talk about anyway.
Can I address it now since it's my first time back on the air?
Sure.
It's not a big deal. Okay? I text with DeMarco all the time.
Beto,
not ever argue.
up.
No, exactly. It's like DeMarco, I went at him, he went at me. We had a good time. It was fun. It was arguing. And what happens? I stayed in studio for another hour and a half. So if there was an issue, why was I still there? Simple as that.
Right.
Man.
It's not like you were like in traction or anything, or like an ambulance was coming to pick you up.
No,
Yeah.
and it's like
There were
we've
threats.
had these. I've known DeMarco since when I used to answer the phones back when he had the show with Gary Miller. So so I know where I can go with him. Did he get loud? Yeah. Did I get loud? Yeah. Did we have a good time?
Wow.
Absolutely.
I mean, there was a dump, which was the issue. And to be fair, I was here.
Yeah,
I
you
was
were.
here.
Claire bleeping Voyant.
I was here, and that was
That's my new shirt I just made. You can buy it on
That's what I
Sided.
was going to say. It'd been one thing if he'd lost actual control, but he actually dropped that F-bomb in between of a great term, and I was like, wow, what a tap dance. Like, okay, if you hadn't been paying attention, you might not have even noticed it. It was that far in form. It was well done.
Yeah. By the way, that is what you need to know. Brought to you by Moraga Casino Resort and Spa. Good times. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Lindsay, what did you actually have? Go ahead.
I was going to bring up Drake's new album that dropped last night.
Oh, boo. What?
DeAndre said, hang on a minute.
Hold on.
What's it called? Like Chanel something or other?
It's called...
it's called NX Greenland?
No. It's some songs for...
Some sexy songs.
Such a memorable title. You remembered it right off the top of your head.
Some sexy songs for you. It just came out last night.
Triple S.
You said what?
Triple S. Some sexy songs. That's what's going on in your household right now.
Oh, it's not mine. I'm just, I listened to a couple songs. It's pretty good.
So that's a yes.
I mean, a lot of people were tweeting about.
I just listened to it.
I was saying to DeAndre during the break, I said, I feel like there were a lot of people with a lot of hate on Twitter before, like as soon as it dropped, without even having the chance to have listened to it yet, just ripping it without even listening to it yet.
Look, when it comes to rap beef, and him trying to diss and all that, stay out of that. You're not in the lane with Kendrick. Just stay out of that. But when it comes to him just making the music that Drake is known to make, like songs like he did on this latest album, he's good.
So he's in an HOV lane, if you will, at this point. He's not with regular traffic.
No, stay out of that, man. You just stay in your own lane, man. Stay in your own lane.
No thanks.
He said he's done with rap beef, and like one of the lyrics was like,
I'd be done with it too if I got crushed
I'm done with
on
rap
national
beef.
television
I'm just
in front of the globe.
Yeah, he said, I'm just trying to get the party lit. That's all. That's all he's trying to do.
Okay. I mean, that's what he's good at, so just do that.
Right.
Stick to that lane.
Exactly.
That's a good lane for him.
Just stay in that lane.
Yeah. All right, so Clinton, you wanted to talk about something that I've completely forgotten about.
No,
now
it's fine. I was just going to say, because you're on the floors, you're in the locker rooms, you're at the pressers. What I was going to ask you is, how seriously do you think other teams are taking the Lakers in terms of this post-change situation, what their ceiling is? And I just mean that in terms of vibes when you see guys on the court. I know that's hard to gauge. I know that's not necessarily, I'm not going to say your job, because it isn't. But
no. But listen.
You know what I'm saying? Do you get my point
here,
George?
Since the trade, we have asked every single head coach, about this trade. And I would just say that they all had very similar reactions to us. They're like, what? How? Huh? So as a consensus. So I think they think, well, every team's going to have some level of warts, but, that's a hell of a place to start with those two. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
The best is see why when the visiting teams come in, right? Like Will Hardy was asked about this, coach of the Jazz. Kind of just rolled his eyes like, okay, I know I'm going to get it, but here we go. Like like Rick Carlisle asked, okay, here we go. That's what you're going to start off with. Do you see Jason Tatum, though? They asked him about it. He's like, I'm not a little kid. I don't watch the Lakers anymore. I'm worried about my team. Like, yeah, you're paying attention, bro. You're paying attention.
That's not the reaction you want.
He's very strange in that sense. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I like him a lot, but he has, weird reactions, I think, to stuff sometimes.
Is he an only child? This is a weird question.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
There's an element of only childness to that.
Wait, Dr. Yates is in here right now. Why only child syndrome?
Well, not necessarily syndrome. That makes it sound like there's a certain level of, I don't know, judgment to that. But I'm just wondering because, some of these guys, the way that their focus works is very different, I think, than a lot of the way that the rest of us work, because they don't necessarily grow up having to deal with other people because they're so good at what they do that they can focus on who they are. You know what I mean? And so, the idea of compartmentalizing the idea of watching the Lakers, because it reminds me of being a child. The Lakers are still a team in the NBA where you work. You know what I'm saying? It's just an interesting mindset in terms of thinking about how guys motivate themselves. That's all.
I believe he might be again, this is just scouring the internet very quickly. I believe he might be a single.
His mother was an 18-year-old freshman when, teen mom when he was born.
Yeah, she was a volleyball player.
The dad is a coach in Australia right now. So maybe.
I didn't mean to bring it up in some sort of judgment. I just meant, to understanding guys'
She's got her MBA, mom does.
Yeah.
Understanding guys' psychology is a big part of why I like sports and why I do what I do, That's that. So, all right. Very well.
Yeah. But perhaps that is part of it. And I do think there is not just to Jason Tatum, I'm talking about anybody. There is such a thing as only child syndrome. I do believe that's a thing.
Hugely.
Yeah. And you can kind of tell. Honestly, not that I would want to do this on the air, but there is definitely a faction of that in sports media. There is no question.
Bro,
about it.
I am my mom's only child. I am not my dad's only child. So I understand it from both sides. The light and the dark side exist within me.
By the way, same.
Oh, is that right? Okay, very well.
I mean, you and I, simpatico.
Simpatico.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. All right, coming up next, one more segment before I'm heading for the hills here.
Okay.
To go to my home away from home, LAX. What do we want to do here? How about we do some Dodger talk? You good on some Dodger talk?
Yeah. It's the big CY. Pitchers and catchers are reporting.
Yeah.
You think I'm not good on Dodger talk?
I'm just saying.
What do you think I'm here for?
I didn't know if you wanted to get there.
I love you.
Sorry, national guy. I didn't know the national guys still talk local. Come on.
All
right.
All right, let's do that next.
Beto, shut up.
The Battle of Los Angeles belongs to the Trojans.
The Trojans, bruised, battered, but still standing. They take down #1 UCLA at home.
The number 6 USC Trojans knock off the number 1 UCLA Bruins for their first loss of the season. Led by 38 big points from JuJu Watkins.
Watkins the steal. Left wing, a Euro to the cup. Lays it in.
And you heard it all here on the home of the Trojans. 710 ESPN.
Hey guys, it's Cap. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement, and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt, one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms. Avner Gatt knows how to fight back when your insurance company makes you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope of getting into your home and getting it all back together. With decades of experience and a passion for helping people, Avner and his family take the call themselves. So whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is, you call Avner Gatt today at 818-917-5256, or you go to avnergatt.com. It's 818-917-5256 or avnergatt.com. You call, Avner answers, he says hello. Your claim is our game. avnergatt.com.
This February, the Genesis Invitational heads to Torrey Pines in San Diego. Be there when moments become legendary. The roars echo through the trees, and champions rise. The Genesis Invitational welcomes the world's best golfers, including Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Colin Morikawa, and more, to Torrey Pines February 13th through 16th for the Genesis Invitational. This is where legends are made. Get your tickets today at genesisinvitational.com.
Hey, it's Mace. Did you know Goodwill Southern California is more than just amazing thrift finds? They're transforming lives with job training, career placement, and support services for veterans, youth, and individuals overcoming barriers to employment. Every donation and purchase fuels these life-changing programs. For more on how you can help, go to powerofwork.goodwillsocal.org. That's powerofwork.goodwillsocal.org. Brought to you by GSC Verizon Skill Forward.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
This is Sedano and Kap for your afternoon drive.
How is that related?
On 710 ESPN.
Banger.
Damn.
The pants were so baggy in the club. The Hennessy was moving. Oh, these incredible Hulks. These incredible
Hulks
were on deck.
No.
On deck.
Oh, my
To quote a
goodness.
person we don't talk about anymore, Malibu and Grey Goose, I call it Malibu. Yeah.
Wait, Malibu Grey Goose?
It's literally a line from a song, but yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like Malibu Rum and Grey Goose. Like, what's wrong with you, bro?
No.
Oh, my. Incredible Hulks are dangerous.
Completely dangerous.
It was Hypnotic and what?
Take a guess.
Was it
Henny.
Elevate? Oh, Henny.
Yes.
Man. What? Oh, chills right now. We used to make those the night before. We would go snowboarding in Mammoth, so we'd put them into a water bottle. So where you would. I'm like 21, right? Whatever it was.
No,
so
I know
put it in a water
exactly
bottle.
what you're referring to as a method of operation.
You go snowboarding, and then on the lift, you start drinking that, and you're like, whoa. Next thing you know, 10 in the morning, you're like, whoa, I'm falling down in the
This is
half
up
pipe.
there with like vodka Gatorade pops, that kind of
Oh,
deal.
those
You
are
know
so
what I'm saying?
good.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Those are still jamming.
So what was the outfit like? You said you was wearing baggy jeans. What else? Were you putting up in the club with a do-rag on?
First of all,
Was it with a
I'm
FUBU?
just asking.
I don't like
FUBU?
to tone off the rip. Secondly,
Just
I
asking,
dress
just
like
asking.
you dress now. How
Okay.
about that?
All right,
Okay.
all right.
I didn't have the chesticles out the same way. But the white do-rag meant it was a special occasion.
Okay.
That's like formal wear.
Okay.
If I've got the white do-rag on, that means that there's a blessing that will be happening. A benediction, if you will.
Okay.
Anyway.
What'd you wear? Like size 38 jeans with a 30 waist?
What kind of shoes? What kind of shoes?
I mean, first of all, I wasn't really in the club like that, so I'm
Okay.
low-key
Okay.
lying. But it was all Jordans back in the day and Air Force Ones, and it wasn't about the waist size; it was about the pant length. That was critical.
baggy
to
at the
your
bottom.
bunching. Yes, exactly. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. So
Okay.
anyway, I don't wear those clothes anymore. Thank God. Even though they're back in style, I don't wear them.
Oh, yeah.
My like
Baggy
25-year-old
back in.
sister dresses exactly
You're a
how
more
I dressed
mature
in high
gentleman these days. Is
Well,
what
listen,
it
I
is.
mean,
You're
listen,
not a
as-
young man anymore.
As the
you know?
president of the local chapter of the Handsome Man community, there are certain standards we have to uphold. You understand?
You're a father these days. Different attire for
Correct.
a father.
You know, I literally dress like a dad that lives on the west side. That's
CY, were you wearing like Nautica and Tommy Hilfiger back in the day?
couldn't afford that. No,
Okay.
absolutely not.
I thought I could see you in something like that.
No, you kidding me? On Georgia Avenue?
No, because
fighting
like,
on the metro on the red line, no chance, bro.
well, I didn't know. See, because so West Coast, we would have like in the 2000s, it was like Nautica and like Tommy Hilfiger was like in season or in style. I never wore it, but you would see guys wearing like the topsiders. I'm like, what's going on? I'm trying to be preppy. It wasn't me.
No.
That wasn't my style.
That was something that came later when I got to college. When I was in D.C. on the block, bro, we weren't wearing any of that.
I mean, listen, dog. It's okay. You could have, like, you know.
Oh, there was
some
an
of us-
evolution.
Some of us, you know, we couldn't afford Coach. We just got Goach.
that Bolex was shining. You know what I'm saying?
That's a Cappy line, Sedano. Look at you, man.
Hey, real quick, CY, before I go, I wanted to talk some Dodgers with you and Beto. All right, let's start Clayton Kershaw. I think 1 year, $7.5 million. Like, I think that's a very reasonable deal for everyone. What say you?
I'm exhaling because I don't want to sound like a jerk, but my question is,
here we go.
Let's be honest, Beto. How many resources is the team going to devote to effectively what is a bit of a retirement run every single year? And I said this on the show earlier. It's not that I hope this is the last year for that, but almost for his sake. Like, the ramp up is so long. The break period is so long. He's legitimately broken down. You know why? Because he's given legitimately awesome years of pitching to Major League Baseball and the Dodgers. There's no shame in being the sergeant at arms of a certain era. And I just wonder how long he's going to want to do this for himself. Sure, give him the money he wants. It is what it is. There's 40-man discussions that we can be had about roster spots, but I just kind of feel like at some point I want Clayton Kershaw to be able to enjoy something other than rehabbing to play pitcher for the Dodgers. You know what I'm saying? He's proven what he has. He's proven who he is. I don't need more as much as I love him.
2,968. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Pitcher to get 3,000 strikeouts. He might be the last one to ever do it because pitchers don't throw that much. That's what it is. This is his final year. See why? You got to give him the $7 million. And if he goes out there and he pitches for you for a couple months, are you asking him to be like your top line starter? No. This is the gold watch at the end. Thank you for everything you've ever done for us. You showed up when you were 20 years old. You've been there for us. You were there. You took a lot of money. You're taking less money. You've always been there. And to play for one team, to go into the Hall of Famer with the Dodgers.
It's the thing that doesn't happen
that's
anymore.
what it is.
You're right. Yeah, no, you're right.
It's a nostalgia thing. That's all it is. Now, if the Dodgers needed a quality 4 or 5 starter and they gave Kershaw the money, then I'm thinking, okay. But they have an abundance of arms. They have an abundance of riches. Give him $7 million, let him pitch, and then when it's playoff time, he's not going to be on the roster.
I don't want him to retire into rehab, George. That's my thing.
No, I hear you. I get it.
That's like a legitimate thing I think about as a human because we know guys like that where they wore it all out for that last season and they're rehabbing literally for the rest of their lives. I don't want that for him.
But he's so close to 3,000.
Yeah,
yeah. I think Beto's right though. I think this is it. I think this is like kind of the we're giving you one last shot, Kirsch. You've meant so much to the organization.
Yep. Yeah. No, I'm there too. Yeah. Yeah. He's had 2 straight 1-year contracts, right?
Yeah.
So I like
he could have
that.
gone somewhere else, but no. He's a Dodger legend.
You got to let him finish here. Yeah, I mean, if he's going to like Texas for a year, that just feels weird.
Right, or doing some weird like Detroit move or something like. Yeah, no, we can't have that. No.
In Seattle, like Jamie Moyer.
Right. I don't love that. All right. So let me ask you this: did you hear Mickey Hatcher on Travis and DeMarco the other day?
I did not.
Mickey Hatcher, by the way, as I said yesterday, one of the best like '80s baseball names you can get
by a mile. Yeah.
I mean, it like nothing screams '80s baseball player like the name Mickey Hatcher. Like it's either that or he was like some jobber boxer at some point in like the 1940s. Like that's literally the only jobs he could have had.
Mickey Hatcher's dad was Mickey Hatcher, who did that other job. Yeah.
Right.
From parts unknown, Mickey Hatcher.
So anyway. He says he doesn't think Shohei should actually pitch. Like, he's so good at the offensive side of the ball that should be it. I think that's kind of wild considering the number he makes. I think I would imagine he also seems to want to pitch based on the fact that he's rehabbed it, including through last season. That I don't see that as a thing, but it was an interesting take, I thought, because no one else has really come up with it yet.
Well, here's the thing, George, is that the numbers bear out. In fact, his WAR is higher when he doesn't pitch. That's the thing. And this is the reason also, sidebar, why Babe Ruth got dealt. The other guy that Ohtani is comparing him to is because he was, in fact, better when he didn't pitch as a hitter. And if you're really quantifying it in terms of numbers, and not just what I like to call fan experience, which is people want to see him pitch simply because they like to watch him pitch, I believe the same. If I were really what's the word I'm looking for? Not cold-blooded, but, cold-blooded. But if I was really breaking it down to brass tacks in terms of, like, what actually makes you the best baseball player for this team, I don't think that pitching helps. I think it's a novelty. I think it's lovely. I think it's an accomplishment. I think it's a skill. But I don't necessarily know that it makes this team better, and there are numbers to prove it. There are stories that have been written about this. And here's my thing also. Is that I really, 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 really hope that this next season, a season in which I think the Dodgers have a legit chance to repeat, doesn't become all about Shohei's reclamation project as a pitcher. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you signed him as a two-way player. I understand all that. But I don't need to see it to sort of understand his greatness if it comes at cost to other things, namely how this team runs their pitching staff in total. And so, for me, yes, it's a fantastic idea. It's a fantastic goal, and if it happens, it will be an incredible accomplishment, but it is not a requirement by any stretch of the imagination for me, for Shohei Ohtani to ever, frankly, pitch again in the major leagues, for me to think that he's the greatest player of all time.
Yeah, I mean,
I know, George, it's tough.
I get that point, but I just think that when you're talking about a guy who is probably, when he's right, a top 2 or 3 hitter in the game and probably like a top 5 to 10 pitcher in the game, like that's pretty nasty. You know what I mean? Like,
but how old is he, George?
No, he's getting there. Right. He's getting to a point. I don't think he should be doing it for a lot longer. But I just selfishly, as a fan, I'd like to see it for a few more years.
Right.
Yeah, he'll turn 31, like I think July is his birthday around that time.
Yeah.
Right? So
okay.
You're right. A couple more years.
35, that's it. He can stop it.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
You're giving him 5 more seasons of this? Okay.
4 more, technically.
But see why? This is a freak. We've never seen anything like this in our lifetime. We haven't seen it. And
by the way, he can transform into a closer later in life.
Okay, now we're talking, George. Now we're talking. If you're going to develop him into a pitcher who can go shorter distances and lengths, distances meaning in terms of pitch counts and lengths in terms of time on the mound, then I'll talk to you. But I'm not talking about ramping up to be a starter every day. It's
no. I think give me like 3 or 4 more years of a starter if you can, and then give me like the best closer in the game, arguably, once he can transition to that. And maybe a guy that like on Mariano Rivera, right? Like there were a lot of times in the day of Joe Torre where he'd be like, "Hey Mariano, I need 6 tonight." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So. Like, I think he could transition to that potentially.
That's a high bar. Mariano
This
Rivera
is like a high school.
Well, I don't want him to be Mariano. I don't expect him to be Mariano Rivera. I'm just saying, like, the guy that can get you 6 outs if you need it.
I totally get it. Sort of a long guy, not really a short guy. And if he has to close, he has to close because his stuff is that good. Beto, I'm with you.
It's like in high school, right, where you see that stud who just hits bomb. He's going to a big school, right, and then you just put him on the mound to get 3 outs, and he's just throwing cheese at you.
He's just that guy.
But you don't see that. But you don't see that in the freaking pros, right? In the major leagues, you're going to tell me he's going to be hitting and stealing bases and doing what he's doing, and then, hey, here's the ball in the 9th inning. Like, what? Like, this is the freak that he is. This is why I wish I was going to Japan to see the Dodgers opening series. This is why when he was in Anaheim, I would go only when he would pitch. Like, if he wasn't pitching, I'm not going to Angel Games a couple years ago. Yeah. But this is why Ohtani, like, this is part of, like, I guess as I'm getting older, making myself appreciate the moments of what we're seeing. Because who else is doing this at this level?
No,
I know
nobody.
there's some guys coming up. Right. And if they are doing it, they're not like this. And you can see it in college a little bit, but you're not really seeing it where you're the best player in the world, man. This is just crazy.
All right, coming up next, Radio Tinder. I'm out, boys. Thank you for sitting in.
Thank
Love you guys. Have a great weekend.
Woo! Travis Rogers and DeMarco Farr.
Back Monday at 9 a.m. after Clinton and Friends.
Luka has a chance to be the #1 guy in the world, or at least in America. To be the guy for the Los Angeles Lakers?
Big job.
What's bigger than that?
Not much.
And winning championships.
Not much.
Who's more famous than him?
NFL players, but that's about it.
You still think the quarterback?
In this country. Internationally, probably not.
If Luka is winning championships and the Lakers are back to their dominant, excellent self, like I'm talking back to the old school days when they're running off 10 in a row ugly stuff.
Yep.
And Luka is at the forefront.
Yep.
Am I getting too far to say Luka could actually challenge that?
I think he would be on the short list.
That guy, that talent, the way he plays here.
I don't think it's a Luka thing. I think it's an NBA versus NFL thing. That's the only reason that I would make that argument. But I think it's close.
Weekday mornings at 9 a.m.
It's Travis and DeMarco
on 710 ESPN.
At Children's Hospital Los Angeles, we're a nationally recognized leader in pediatric care, honored by U.S. News and World Report as one of the best in the country. Here, we achieve amazing breakthroughs that change lives. From groundbreaking cancer therapies that offer new hope to young patients, to advanced heart procedures that save lives, we partner with families to conquer challenges and achieve extraordinary outcomes. Choose the best care for your child at chla.org.
You never expect a Hail Mary pass to win and end the game or getting into an accident. Hey, it's Trav with DeMarco.
Only one all-star defense team you can call to defend you. The personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Visit normanlegal.com or call 213-747-2000.
Don't get sacked by others. Joseph will help you achieve the maximum compensation you deserve. Visit normanlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Let Joseph and his team score a touchdown for you.
Why do we grill to order at Waba Grill? Because it's just better for you. Our Asian-inspired menu has high-quality proteins that are healthier for you. Our steamed vegetables and signature salads are made fresh for you. Our sauces are more flavorful for you. From sweet and spicy to fiery hot. Right now, get our Value Bowl combo for only $8.99. Download the Waba Rewards app or order online at wabagrill.com. Waba Grill, it's for you.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
JuJu. Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text HIM to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text HIM to 321-321. That's HIM to 321-321.
And it is Sedano and Kap. Around 5:30 p.m. in the Southland Radio Tinder time, we like to play a TV theme. You can follow her at Lindsay Baseball on Twitter or Instagram. Don't forget about our sponsor, Tequila Mandala. Always swipe right on Tequila Mandala. Take it away, producer Lindsay.
Oh, yeah. This is very... Well, who is... This... So good.
Sly and the Family Stone.
That's what I thought. I was going to say, but like, what era is what I was trying to think. What decade of Sly is this?
What TV show is this?
It's not. It's just on the anniversaries. On this
Oh,
day.
okay.
Sedano and Kap.
Sorry.
Durani Yates. Takeover mode to end out the Friday. This is like when your boyfriend leaves the party and we're still here.
What?
Lindsay, what's going on?
This is in 1970 when the song came out, by the way.
The 7-0? All right.
So funny that DeAndre played this because I actually watched the Sly and the Family Stone documentary last night, which just came out.
I'm stunned.
It's amazing. Questlove did it, and it's very good. I didn't know a whole lot about him, but now I do. And yeah, it was pretty good. So you should check it out.
Incredible musician, Sly was.
Yep.
Jam.
All right, so what do we got?
All right, guys. So starting off Radio Tinder, after months of trash talk, Olympic gold medal sprinter Noah Lyles and Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill have agreed to race. Lyles and Hill, yes, they said that the race will happen in the spring or summer before Lyles takes part in the U.S. Outdoor Championships in July. The location and the distance of the race has not yet been decided on. But if you guys remember back in August, Tyreek Hill said that he would beat Lyles in a race, quote, by a lot. And then he also questioned when he withdrew from one of his sprints during the Olympics because he was sick due to COVID. And so these two have kind of been like jawing back and forth at each other for a little while now. And I want to know if you guys think that Tyreek Hill actually has a chance to beat Noah Lyles in a sprint. Swipe left or swipe right. Clinton, you go first.
I'll say yeah. I guess that's the swipe right. I mean, I'm so over these two, though. Like, I'm so over them flirting over track meets. Like, enough already. Y'all could have made this happen. What'd you say? Like, I feel like there was multiple Olympiads ago that this came up.
I think it wasn't this past one that it started. It was the one before that.
I think it was the one before that, Beto. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they've been going at it for a while, and I'm there with you. I'm gonna swipe right also because I forgot that Lyles who he was, right? Because you got to strike when the iron is hot. So right now, if you're gonna do it, you're like, and then Tyreek Hill, even more news that comes out about Tyreek Hill. He probably had another kid right now, right?
No,
so you're having
easy.
Hey, no, he did. He just recently had another kid.
Is that real?
Yes.
He should have done it right after the Olympics.
Exactly. And then they're still trying to figure out the distance. So can he beat him on your question, Lens? Yeah, if it's a 40-yarder, because that's what he does.
Yeah, I was going to
say.
But
if it's going to go after that, I'm just, again.
The longer it gets, the less of a chance that Noah Lyles has to beat him, right?
No, it's the other way around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Tyreek
Noah Lyles is an
burst,
actual track runner. If you get to distance, you know what I'm saying, he's going to beat him. That's what I'm saying.
You get the 100, he's got him. But
right.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know. To me, I would think that he wouldn't stand a chance, but,
Guys don't run 100 yards at a time in the NFL.
That's true.
Not even close, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I just think it would be, I would watch it, but
believe me, we're going to Prize Picks all day with that.
Sure.
Right.
I would probably even attend it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But tired of hearing about it, that's for sure.
All right, DeAndre's got the next one.
Alrighty. So we know the Eagles had their Super Bowl parade today, coming off
Eagles,
off a Super Bowl championship.
Here we go. Yeah.
DeAndre, you'll love this because I worked with Bernard Hopkins today. You know, he's like, he comes up to me, first thing he says, "See that? See that? I'm from a city of champions."
That's right, baby.
Fly, Eagle,
That
fly.
That is right.
Be hot.
So, and we already know about the famous Philly mayor who was, is trending because of this.
Yes. Let me hear you all say, E-L-G-S-E-S, Eagles!
Let's go, Birds.
Let's go, Birds!
So she had the chance, obviously, being the mayor of Philadelphia, had the chance to go out there and speak. And have a speech, obviously, coming out the Eagles Super Bowl championship. And apparently her speech went a little too long, and the crowd started to boo her for going too long.
This poor lady.
Oh, no.
So my question to you guys is, how long should a speech be? Whether it's for a championship or just in general, how long should a speech be?
This is tough.
Clinton.
Okay, so this is tough because, like, what your position is depends on how long you can talk. If you're the owner, that's one thing. If you're the head coach, that's another. If you're the captain, that's a third. But all three of those people have longer wits than the mayor. Like, I'm sorry. You don't have that long. That's a get in, get out, especially if you have what I'll call a prior on your record, which is where we are right now. Like, that's gotta be a get in and get out, Beto. Come on.
There's nothing worse than politicians at sporting events.
Yeah.
Believe me, whenever we have to do a press conference, I usually host them, and it's like we're in a different city. It's like, oh, you got to bring up this mayor. You got to bring that person up. A politician should be there for 30 seconds max. And also, it was like 30 degrees today in Philadelphia. They don't want to hear from you. What she should have done. Well, yeah, you're probably drinking too, so you're good. But what she should have done is gone up there. I'm Mayor so and so. ELG.
Right, play her clip.
Let me hear you all say
That's the move.
ELGSES Eagles.
She
Let's
does
go
that.
Birds.
She owns it. She gets reelected.
Yeah.
Exactly, man.
Just drop that clip, walk off.
Boom.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, legit. There was a clip that was posted like 2-3 minutes long. I'm like, okay, there's no need to go that long because there was players on the Eagles roster.
What did she have to say?
But I'm saying there was like key players from the Eagles roster who were significant, like did a significant job on that Super Bowl team.
Oh, like old boy who thought he should have won the MVP and didn't get it?
Yeah,
no, I'm joking. But like, what was she actually talking about for 2 or 3 minutes?
I don't know, but I'm saying like how much longer do you need to go off? You know, just 30 seconds. Hey, you know, congratulations to the Eagles that you were bringing a championship to the city of Philadelphia. Appreciate y'all, and then play that and walk out.
Philadelphia,
DeAndre, the best part is
field capital. Anyway,
yeah, the best part is that somebody wrote that for her.
It's like, again, the Abbott Elementary scenes never end surrounding the Eagles.
It's a great show.
It's a great show. Fantastic show.
If
Shout out
that
to all
were
the
me,
politicians.
If that were me, I would say something like, let's try this one more time, or let's get it right this time, and then spell it the right way. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Just to kind of like be like, I'm not that dumb, you know?
Yeah,
The crowd wants to hear from the players. They want to hear from the coaching staff. They want to hear from the owners. They want to hear from the players.
You're not here to talk policy talk and misspell mascots? That's not for you? Wow, who knew?
As if like this world isn't divisive enough right now, you know?
Okay, CLE.
It's true.
Easy to spell, Cleveland.
What does that have to do? What is it?
C-L-E.
No,
that's not.
No.
What does that have to do about like politics and making the world divisive?
Absolutely nothing. I was just joking around.
Okay.
Come on.
I'm just saying.
Wait,
like,
check the
keep
name
it
of your
light. Keep it
baseball
light.
team.
Keep it light in those situations. Definitely a light
I thought it was
situation.
CLV.
Exactly. Home of the Spiders.
Beto, shut up.
So
Pretty soon.
on this day in 2005, YouTube.com was launched. So instead of having you swipe, I want to know, what do you watch most on YouTube? Like whether it's a channel, a person, a certain type of video, what do you like mostly
so I'm
watching
going to do
on
this
YouTube?
live, and I'm going to show you guys what I watch. I'm going to go to YouTube.com, and what I think I watch the most comes up is going to come up. There it is. There it is. Lost in Japan, 24/7 chill lo-fi hip-hop in Japan visuals. You have no idea.
What?
No idea.
You
what
have
that
no
is.
idea
Can you repeat that?
what I'm watching on a regular basis. It is just videos of people driving around Japan with like lo-fi beats, chill hop playing. This is 100% what I'm paying attention to at almost all times in my day, Beto.
Don't you have a kid now?
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. It's a low. That's what I'm saying. It's a low frequency sort of music and visuals thing that keeps me on a certain vibe. I'm serious. That's part
I don't even want to know your search history of whatever it leads to from that video.
Bro,
to like
no,
the next one that's
hold
coming
on.
up.
Hold on. It's nothing. I mean, I'm being honest. Like it's
No, I'm not saying it's
chill
bad. I'm just
music
saying
that just has visuals to it. It's great.
Yeah, whatever is the next video up that's along that genre, right? I can't wait to see what
It's
those
honestly
are.
just more videos of that from other people. That's the
Really?
craziest part. Yes.
I watched the ESPN LA YouTube chat. That's the entire
I was
all
going to
day.
say, that's
late.
you. You're a P1.
I am the P1. I watch it every morning. I watch it every day. And make sure you watch the Lakers postgame show on YouTube, brought to you by Active Collision.
To be fair, that's the second thing on my list. I'm not even joking.
But you know what I really watch, Linz? Working with Michael Thompson makes you an old man. And Michael put me on. He's like, you got to watch Sanford and Sons. I've been watching Red Fox and Don Rickles and Ronnie Dangerfield go on to like talk shows, like when they would go on Johnny Carson.
Oh yeah,
Don Rickles. I mean, I only knew him as the dude from Casino, right? And I didn't know who he was.
What?
And all of us. Why would I know him, bro?
I guess that's a good point.
Like, he's an old guy. I didn't know who. I just right. So then I started watching. I'm like, he would just go on Letterman and rip everybody. He would rip Sinatra.
Where do you think the nickname television such and such comes from? Like, and I'm not talking about me. Like, that's what people used to call guys like Don Rickles. They were just randomly on TV all the time because all their friends were other people on TV, so they'd just show up. Don Rickles was very much television's Don Rickles. And I couldn't name you a show he was on, but I know him from watching him on TV.
Like, see what? I grew up in a house with, like, there's 7 kids, right?
Yeah.
And there was, like, 1.5 TVs. You think I'm towards the end? I'm not going to get a chance to watch it. At 11:30, like, you know, there's Telemundo on Univision on, right? No. We're not watching. Like, that's why I'm not a big SNL guy. I never watched that. Like, I'm not into.
You know, I totally understand this, Beto. This is why I haven't seen shows like The Friendses of the world. Like, people in my family just weren't watching that. I totally understand. But Don Rickles is like old school Dave Letterman.
Oh, I love
That's
him
the
now.
reason how I know who he is. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got into that, and then lately, Lindsay, you know what I've been watching? I kid you not, Tom Amansky videos.
back to back AAU national champions throwing baseballs into trash cans from deep left field.
Yeah, because the baseball season's coming up, and all of a sudden, it's just the randomness that pops up, and that's it.
They know you. Would you say your algorithm knows you?
Oh my God, they think I'm Michael Thompson. They think I'm 70 now.
I love it.
That's cool. All right, that's it for Radio Tender.
Good job.
Okay, where are we? Do we have anything else?
No, that was it for Radio Tinder.
Okay, am I leading? Just so we're clear, am I leading now that Sedano is gone?
That was the plan. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the
You're the guy in studio.
Can I just say one thing before we break?
Yes.
One of these days, I want to get into the celebrity All-Star game. You know, I really do.
Which one?
The
basketball
NBA.
game?
Yeah, the basketball game.
The game that's happening right now?
Yes, I do. Because I've seen all these, these celebrities out there, and I'm like, damn.
I mean, you definitely could, because a lot of those people, like, they use the term celebrity very loosely, I feel like.
Well, a lot of
whoa.
No,
I'm
right
like,
there.
they're not
I'm
any
right
more
there
famous than you, DeAndre. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm right there with you, Linz, because you're talking about YouTube being born in 2005.
Right.
Like, YouTube's created so many quote-unquote famous people
Yep.
that we have no idea who they are. And next thing you know, they show up and like, they're like, because they're skits or they're famous on YouTube, like, you're a YouTuber. Like, what does that even mean now? And then next thing you know, they're in the celebrity game. The Dodgers used to have that amazing celebrity game back in the 70s and 80s. Sinatra would play, right? Everything, have all the uniforms. Now it's like, who? What? Like for the baseball All-Star weekend when they do the celebrity game?
Oh, yeah, now it's trash.
Jeez.
Let's get the rosters up, and on the other side.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that. Let's find out if they're real people.
This. Since I'm apparently driving now. Sedano Kap, Durani Yates on ESPN 710 Los Angeles.
The biggest show on the radio.
Mason and Ireland, weekdays at noon.
Now, I've made some big purchases in life just in the last couple of years. I swear to God, my largest purchase is that massage chair.
Yeah, which we got a great deal on.
And my personal seat licenses at SoFi. Those are the two really big splurge items that I've got. But I don't know what it is. I feel just some level of guilt when I'm blowing money.
Are you that way, Ireland?
I don't have any time to spend money. I'm working all the time. So Lisa just spends all her money. But she's good at it because, like, the house in Idaho she killed. I had nothing to do with it. I just basically was a silent investor.
Wait a minute. You consider yourself to be a silent investor in the house?
Mace, I cannot tell you how little input I had on anything to do with that house.
Really?
That's the most extravagant thing we've bought.
Steve Mason and John Ireland, back Monday at noon.
Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN.
Hey guys, it's Sedano at Los Angeles International Airport. Changes are arriving daily to help reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the travel experience. The LAX economy parking structure is now open with thousands of smart parking spaces, as well as hundreds of EV charging stations. Modernized terminals have biometric gates for faster boarding, and in the future, the People Mover train will connect travelers to LA Metro. For more information, go to their website, flylax.com/transforming LAX. That's flylax.com/transforming LAX.
This February, the Genesis Invitational heads to Torrey Pines in San Diego. Be there when moments become legendary. The roars echo through the trees, and champions rise. The Genesis Invitational welcomes the world's best golfers, including Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Colin Morikawa, and more to Torrey Pines February 13th through 16th for the Genesis Invitational. This is where legends are made. Get your tickets today at genesisinvitational.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-777-1225. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-777-1225. That's 800-777-1225 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225.
This is Sedano and Kap for your afternoon drive.
Walks around like a little puppy dog.
On 710 ESPN.
We still fly here on ESPN 710. Sedano and Kap, Yates, close it out your week.
You don't know about this, DeAndre. You don't know about this.
This song goes, dog. I mean, this is not quite the era we were discussing, but it is close enough to it.
Oh, this is a great song. It's also Birdman's birthday.
Birdman.
The 10 on the inside player. Wow. It's Birdman's birthday? How old do you think Birdman is?
Take a guess.
Ooh. The Birdman daddy a fly in any weather. That's the part where you like come together with the person that you thought you were dancing with. You got to come together at that line. That's how that looks on the floor. You don't know nothing about that, DeAndre, because people your age don't actually go to the club. Personal interactions are not a thing.
I don't go to the club.
Nobody goes to the club. I know. It's a waste of time. Birdman.
He's older than I thought he would be.
Birdman is 59 years old.
No.
Okay.
Do you have a guess, Beto?
51.
55 years, right in the middle.
55. Okay. All right. Fair enough. That's fair.
DeAndre don't know about this, man.
So right now on my screen inside the ESPN 710 studios, Beto Duran, Clinton Yates, by the way, closing out for Sedano and Kap here on a Friday on ESPN 710. DeAndre and Lindsay are obviously here with us. I'm looking at, is that Jerry Rice in a?
That's right.
Yes, he's one of the coaches.
Jerry Rice in a fleece tech. That's what I was looking at. So our question was regarding the celebrities in this game. Beto, you don't know who these people are. I don't know who these people are. But we can play a little bit of a guessing game to figure out if we have any idea where we might know these humans from. Who's going to take this over there?
Wait, hold on. Before you do this, did you just say Jerry Rice is coaching the NBA?
So there's Team Rice and Team Bonds. Barry Bonds is coaching the other team.
Barry Bonds?
Yes.
Right.
Oh, because it's in the Bay Area. That's
yes,
right.
Exactly. Bald-faced black athletes from the Bay Area was what was the requirement to be a coach.
Why they got to be bald? Why they got to be bald, bro?
You tell me. Father Time. I meant their faces are bald as much as their heads are. That's the funny thing about it. You know, I'm serious.
So many Bonds jokes.
They both look the same way. Anyway, what do we got as far as how are we going to do this, Linz?
I mean, I got both teams, so I'll just go down the list and you tell me yes or no. You know this guy. All right, Kai Cenat.
Yes, obviously.
Yes, no.
Big time streamer. You don't know. Hold on, Beto. You don't know who Kai Cenat is?
I don't pay attention to any streamers on YouTube. I don't know any YouTubers, and I don't know any TikTokers.
Beto, if you saw him, Beto, you'll know. If you saw a picture of him, you know.
Yes,
he showed up in the Royal Rumble.
Oh, I definitely don't know.
He got pancaked at the Royal Rumble.
He's also been on Shannon Sharp's show. So.
Shay. No, I know that. Wait, Kai Cenat?
Yeah.
Look him up.
He's probably like the biggest.
He is the biggest streamer there is.
He's friend. Bronny went on his screen. Like all the famous people go on
clue.
All the celebs.
I don't believe that. There's no way you don't know who he is.
I have no idea who he is. I don't watch TikTok. I don't watch YouTubers.
Okay, so okay, hold on. Let's play a game. Is there any way you can text the other people in your family to ask them if they know who this person is, and we can get some feedback for the sake of
My
this
daughter will know. It says right here he's a Twitch streamer. What does that mean?
Yes,
so
but
he
hold
gets
on.
like thousands of dollars per minute just to exist on Twitch.
I need you to poll
But what
your
is he?
family.
Isn't Twitch like a gamer thing?
Mostly.
Yes and no.
Yeah, see, I'm not a gamer. I
That's
don't know
like
anything
that's
about
like
that.
kind of how it caught on, but people use it for everything.
Can you
let me
poll
text my
your
daughter.
family to ask them if what they know of this person?
My family is a bunch of old people, man. They don't know.
My nephew, who is 13, is the only person that would have any clue who that is. And
Really?
of course he
I'm
does.
gonna text my
Yeah.
kids and I'll get your response.
That's
I
what
have
I
no
was
idea who
getting
it is.
at, Beto. Thank you. Okay. Who else we got, Linz?
All right, Baron Davis, obviously.
Yes,
everyone
B.
knows
Diddy.
that.
We're familiar with
Ross
this
Rhodes?
Alicia Gray.
No.
And WNBA All-Star, I did not know who she
Oh,
was.
okay, yes, I know who that. So I'll say this flatly: there's a lot of WNBA players whose whose faces I recognize, whose names I don't. Just like NFL players, to be
All
quite
right,
honest.
so Mateo just texted me back. He's watching right now in Jersey. Yeah, biggest streamer out there.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you,
All
Tay.
right, he's
Appreciate
19.
you, Tay.
Yeah, I think
I'm
you have
46.
to be like under 30. I mean, I only know who
I
he is
know who
because
the
of
guy is.
yeah.
But you're
I
in
know
that
who he is
world,
too,
CY.
but-
You watch that stuff.
What world is that, Beto?
As in, you know who gamers are. You know
That's
who
true.
YouTubers
I
and
do watch
TikTokers
Twitch.
are.
I watch a decent amount of Twitch. Yeah.
I probably wouldn't know who he was if I weren't a radio producer that's like constantly aggregating content. I don't think I'd know who
Fun
he was
fact,
otherwise.
you are.
Right.
But got it. Okay.
Just you know what I mean? Like
I
always
get
looking
it,
for,
yeah.
for stories and things going on the internet.
He's a nice kid, though. He does good causes. He's not some jerk. Like, he's actually a really stand-up guy, to be quite honest.
I mean, good for him. I'm not knocking the hustle.
I get it.
I'm not his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
All right, Dylan Wang.
No.
How do we spell?
Just like it sounds.
Okay.
Dylan
And this
Wang.
isn't even
Don't-
us being
don't know
old
who this
people. This is
person
just
No,
he's a
I'm going to
Chinese
Google
actor and
these as they
singer.
come up just to see that I'm not completely crazy. Don't know who this person is.
That's why I said to DeAndre, he's not that far. He's not that far off. You know.
Dylan Wang has great hair, though.
Oh,
I
beautiful.
mean, this is an incredible set of
His
lettuce.
IMDb says hobby is playing basketball. Okay,
He's
so
got
do
this
better.
little
Sim.
swoop deal going.
So damn,
Oh,
this
yeah.
this
Okay.
Sion guy had Kyrie and Iguodala go on his stream. Okay.
Dylan Wang was is a problem, as the kids say. And by the kids, I mean me. Okay.
I have never heard of any of the movies that he's in, so that's also
Even better.
Yeah. All right. Next one. Pablo Schreiber.
Pablo Schreiber.
I don't think I'm familiar with his work. Beto, how about you? You ever hear of Pablo Schreiber?
This ripped guy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This
Pablo
guy looks
Schreiber,
like...
he's Canadian.
This guy looks like my friend Rodney. He looks like just like him.
I have no idea who he is. I just looked.
I don't know.
Oh my God, you know who he is? See why?
He's a 6-pack and a half is who he is.
No, Pablo Schreiber, Nick Sabaka.
Really?
Yes.
I've never seen The Wire.
Have you seen Den of Thieves? CY?
Yeah,
the
but
first one. He was in the garage when 50 Cent brought out in the scene.
That's who this
Yes,
person
he
is?
That
Okay.
yeah.
So this guy is, I mean, this guy has got pecs,
he's ripped, though.
pecs in an
Jeez.
8-pack. Yeah. Okay.
His muscles have muscles. All right, so the guy
All
from
right,
The Wire. Cool.
Next
All
one.
right, yeah.
Noah Kahan.
Noah Kahan. How do we spell this?
Noah Kahan.
I've seen this person before.
I couldn't. He's
No
a
chance.
Grammy
He's
nominated
a
artist.
campfire rock guy. Yeah.
Never heard of him.
I've seen this person before.
Nope. All right.
And then Masai Russell, Olympic track star.
Okay.
Probably one of those names that you may or may not know.
Sure.
All right, so
Sounded
team
familiar.
Team Jerry Rice, Matt Barnes, which I don't know. I'm sorry, but like, where are we now that we need to have like Baron Davis and Matt Barnes as your former NBA champion guys? You know?
Well, they played for the Warriors.
Yeah, what are
I
we
know,
talking
but
about? They were
still.
both Bay legends.
But
Matt
are-
Barnes
yeah.
is from Sacramento, which isn't
Yeah.
quite the
Are they-
Bay,
We
but
believe,
it's
baby.
adjacent.
Like, okay, I guess I could see it. It
Yeah.
just seems like a little bit of a reach. Bailey, no last name, just Bailey.
Bailey, the King's mascot.
He's a WWE superstar, right?
Yes, thank you. There,
Oh,
DeAndre's
no
got
chance.
that one.
Okay, all right.
Terrell Owens, who doesn't know him?
He's still playing in these?
I guess he's pretty
T.O.'s
good.
a baller,
What
bro.
yeah, but
Get the
come
popcorn out.
on.
Okay, but you're gonna have a celebrity game in the Bay Area. T.O. was perfect for this.
T.O. is famous for celebrity games, for playing in celebrity games at this point, not for actually being a professional
Hey,
athlete.
Is he
that's
good?
a great gig right there. They fly you out and you get to play. Well, do that.
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's
if
like
I'm
those baseball
15,
players that play in the golf tournaments.
I
Heck
agree,
yeah.
but if I'm 15 years old, I only know who T.O. is based on celebrity games he's played in. Rock and
Bay
Jock
Area
on up.
legend. Bay Area legend. Let's
All
go.
right, all right.
All right, AP Dillon.
No idea. A.P. Dillon?
Yes.
Canadian rapper and singer.
Yeah, not familiar with his work.
Nope.
This guy looks like Drake and The Weeknd
Oh, he's
had a kid.
Indian.
He's
He's Indian?
famous for
Does he not?
Punjabi style music.
Does
Yeah,
he
he's
not
got
look
4
like
million
Drake and The
followers.
Weeknd had a kid?
It kind of
it does, yeah.
That's what he
does.
looks like. Okay.
Oh, he's an NBA ambassador to India. Okay.
That's cool.
That's cool. Still don't know him. Kayla Thornton.
Kayla Thornton with a K or a C?
With a K.
Kayla Thornton.
She's also a WNBA player. Wouldn't have known that.
She plays for the Liberty.
The New York.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Drewski.
Would have recognized.
Oh no, she plays for Golden State. She's part of that team. Oh, Drewski.
Oh, the Valkyries. Okay, so she was in the expansion draft. Okay, I was not familiar with Kayla Thornton's work off the top of the name.
Drewski, he's funny.
I would say Drewski's probably the most famous person of all in this group.
Yeah.
Am I wrong on that, DeAndre?
Maybe T.O.?
I'm going to let her go down the list because there's someone else in there who I think is pretty
okay, so you know the list. Okay, Drewski's pretty high. He's medal stand famous on this list.
He's definitely one of the, he is on top.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last person is Shabuzi.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
That's what I was saying.
But I would argue that Drewski's more famous than Shabuzi. I really honestly would.
Right now, on this day, I think maybe because of the song being like the most streamed and like top charted song of all of 2024, maybe Shabuzi just for like right now, but like generally speaking, I think that Drewski's more famous. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and Drewski's also more slightly recognizable too. That's the thing.
I don't know what Shabuzi looks like.
And Drewski's been he does a lot more other things too as well as besides like his little comedy sketches and stuff like that. He's been in commercials. He's been in whole movies.
He's
and
Prize Picks.
Yeah,
he's a huge Prize Picks
guy.
Yeah.
Drewski's whole body type is famous now.
Yeah.
That's when you know you're really big. When people can see your silhouette and they're like, "Oh, I know who that guy is." You know what I'm saying? I wish that could be me. Anyways, all right, coming up. We're gonna talk. You want to talk Lakers, Beto? Are we gonna break down the Lakers? Are you ready to do that on a proverbial off day?
I thought we were gonna break down this NBA Celebrity All-Star game.
We just did.
Oh, of course. Whatever you want to see.
What else you want to say, man? T.O., he really can shoot a three.
Hey, just give me on next year. Wherever they're playing next year, I want to be there.
Sedano Kap, Durrani Yates, ESPN, Los Angeles.
The City of Stars has a new superstar.
Luka Doncic joining forces with the Los Angeles Lakers is a seismic event in NBA history.
The home of Luka and the Lakers is 710 ESPN.
Real love begins with self-love. So, yeah. Hello, Sage Spa. Book my massage for Tuesday morning. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
Get a classic car Bluetooth speaker when you earn 500 points on your rewards card, the 18th.
Number 2.
Shy and Montel Jordan, live February 15th. Get tickets now.
And the number 1 reason.
President's Day freebie. Rewards members get an American flag trucker hat free, the 17th.
Morongo, good times.
You never expect a Hail Mary pass to win and end the game or getting into an accident. Hey, it's Trav with DeMarco.
Only one all-star defense team you can call to defend you. The personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000.
Don't get sacked by others. Joseph will help you achieve the maximum compensation you deserve. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Let Joseph and his team score a touchdown for you.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A good karma brands radio station. This is the city, Los Angeles, California. It's 5 p.m. in the Southland.
Turn it up, man.
Time to blow that 5 o'clock whistle with Sedano and Cappy.
That's right, it's the 5 o'clock hour on Sedano and Cap. And it's time for 30 minutes nonstop.
Sedano and Kap on 710 ESPN.
With fun and frivolity, tomfoolery and hijinks, and Cappy doing his thing. Thanks to our friends at Real Father's Rights. Real Father's Rights, the father's rights attorney.
Visit RFR710.com or call 833-ESPN 710.
Let's do it. 5 o'clock in the Southland.
30 minutes of nonstop Sedano and Kap starts now.
You ready for this? And time for the Real Father's Rights 5 o'clock hour on 710 ESPN. Let's do it, Jack.
Yeah.
Kaplan ain't here. George,
we are on the clock.
Do it on your Yates, kid. All right. Sedano and Kap. Do it on your Yates, filling in here. I'm going to read some tweets just because this is our big, bulky segment.
I deleted Twitter from my phone.
Really?
What
was happening?
So now, no, it just the less and less. I unfollowed a bunch of news organizations just because it's getting crazy.
Yeah.
So I just keep my list, and I only use Twitter now when I go on my computer during Laker games.
Okay.
So that way I can keep track of it. It's just too time consuming. I'm trying to use social media less.
That's smart.
And less, man.
No, I'm doing it on my computer right now, so that's smart. So shouts to Radio Michael fan, who's obviously a big-time Circle of Trust guy. He says, Cappy going too long on resets? Never heard that before. And he tagged me, and he's got a whole clip that's like a minute long, and it's Cappy and AK. And AK is like doing his best to act like he's interested throughout the entire course of this 45-second reset. And Linz finally just presses the stop button. She's like, bro, get to it already. It's hilarious.
I remember listening that day when it happened. It was like during
this happens often. Yeah. It's not the only time.
Yeah, that was for All-Star Weekend for our celebrity one that we have, our softball game, right?
Yeah.
I remember driving Lindsay was just like,
whenever it's Cap and like George isn't here, and especially when he resets at the top of the hour there before doing what you need to know. Every time.
Lot going on.
You can see the wheels spinning when he's doing this too.
No, it's great. Mailman Matt says, when I used to get frozen turkeys out the freezer for the customers at Stater Bros, I used to say, the Birdman flies in any weather, and nobody got it. Yes! Yes! That is the tweet of the week.
Mailman Matt's a good listener, man. He's good.
He's great. Matt is great. Random big-timers references in listening. And Rachel Manchego says, I'd love to hear a segment of the psychology of sports based on birth order, like Welcome to My Life. These are the kinds of things I think of.
You know what? There was a Canadian study about that, about firstborn kids. It was a hockey study.
Okay.
How a bunch of like the top NHL picks, how they were usually the firstborn and born in January.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was about a state, like a 20-year study that was done by this Canadian doctors about where the birth order had to do with the propensity for you to become a top NHL pick. It was crazy. I remember reading that.
Let's do the math on that. Born in January means percolated when? Just after the Stanley Cup playoffs? Is that right? Is that right? It's time for the percolator.
No,
it's time for the percolator. You know
the reason
was the percolator.
In Canada, the junior hockey, it's based off a year. They go by year. So if you're born in January, you're usually the oldest in the age group. So you're standing out more and usually get more attention because you're a better hockey player.
That kills my theory.
Oh.
Can we get some It's Time for the Percolator, DeAndre? Like, I need to hear that song right now. It's extremely important. There's like a long build-up that this is gonna be very important. You guys are going to understand why this matters to me. There's no cuss words in this song. You can just pot it right up.
What song is this?
It's Time for the Percolator? You don't know this song? It's like an old house song.
It's time for the percolator.
Oh, yeah.
It's time for the percolator.
There it is.
This song.
There it is.
It's time for the percolator.
Lindsay, you know this song?
It's
sure
time
do.
for the percolator.
Yeah.
It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator.
D's got it moving.
It's time for the
This is what happens after
This
hockey.
is the kind of stuff you would hear from like Richard Humpty Vision back on Power 106 when they had like power tools.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what time it is. Speaking of the percolator, it is Valentine's Day, Lindsay. There it is. The percolator getting percolated right now.
Hey, you know who's been DJing lately? Not riding cycling, but you know who's been doing it?
Who's that?
Adam Amin.
Oh, yeah. Adam's a great DJ.
Bro, I just started following his Instagram, and I've known Adam for a while now.
Yeah.
And this dude is putting out, like, mixes on these crazy, and he's just at home doing it. He's a Bulls broadcaster and also on Fox, but he's, like, legit doing these house mixes. He used the Ball Brothers song the other day, with Stacey King somehow involved with them. I'm like, what the hell?
I don't mean to go full television's Clinton Yates on you, Beto, but I've seen those turntables in Adam's actual house because he's my legitimate friend. Yes, Adam
look at you.
Is the man.
Always got to go. The one-upper Yates. Here we go.
Be like that. I just meant that it's a serious hobby for him in a way that is, in fact, quite admirable. You know how a lot of broadcasters are, Beto.
Oh, yeah.
We do this and we have other side gigs. That side gig of Adam's is incredibly lucrative, and he's a really creative guy. I love it.
He's because I know a lot of DJs, right? So when these guys go to Vegas and do stuff,
yeah,
like the how much these guys are getting paid to play in Vegas at clubs and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, these are guys that, like, one of them is Eric Deluxe. I grew up with him in Carson, right? He's gonna be on Power 106 also. He's still at Hakkasan. He's still doing the Vegas stuff. And I'm like, damn, Eric, like, how do you come up with different ideas? And he's like, I make my own beats. Like, those guys are just crazy different, right?
Yeah.
The people who have the techniques and all those DJs that know how to do that stuff. Like, what was it? I was there one time. Steve Aoki was DJing. I was at some club in Vegas, some fight weekend, and Aoki was like there. That's when he was like, remember, like you had to stop and you had to freeze, and he was doing some kind of challenge. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, this is the last time I'm ever coming to a club, bro. I need to stop this. There's no need for this in my life.
No,
but those DJs are legit.
Adam has picked that up, and he's been great at it. And he, he's an old school music guy, radio DJ sort of dude. And so for him to be able to pick that up at this stage of his life, I think it's important. But speaking of the percolator, though, because people are percolating today. Today is the day of the percolator, Lindsay. What do we have Valentine's Day facts and news?
I saw this.
Can we get the percolator back to, by the way, DeAndre?
What a segue right there, Mike.
You know when it's Valentine's Day, to your point, people are percolating.
It's time for the percolator.
Let's go.
It's time for the percolator.
Yeah.
So I guess I never realized this, but like apparently a lot of people that celebrate Valentine's Day are like outside of celebrating with a romantic partner, which I will say, like my dad always gets us Valentine's every year.
Beautiful.
But aside from that, so I saw this poll online, and more than half of people, 55%, celebrate with a romantic partner. But a lot of people celebrate Valentine's Day with their family, with their friends. Apparently, women are more likely than men to celebrate Valentine's Day with their family or friends than with a romantic partner.
Valentine's Day, ladies.
I was just going to bring that up. So
I just found out about this.
So I was going to say, I never knew about like Valentine's Day until I moved out here. And my first Valentine's Day when I lived out here, I was invited to, I guess, what you would call a Valentine's Day thing, and it was the worst experience of my life.
Oh, yes.
The worst of my life.
We need to know so much more about this.
So my friend, she's more of a girly girl. She worked at NFL Network with me, but she knew nothing about sports and did not care about sports.
We don't need to know where people work. Okay. All right.
No, she doesn't work there anymore.
There's hundreds of people there.
That's fair.
She doesn't work there anymore, but like she was like a very, very girly girl, very feminine, very like, I love all the rom-coms and all the things that, stereotypical girly girl would like. So she was like, well, you should come with me to my friends for this thing on Valentine's Day. I think they were calling it like anti-Valentine's Day, but I get there and, they've got like the champagne and chocolates and whatnot, and they put on like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
I was gonna say.
And they're like breaking down the movie as it's going on and like crying at the parts where, and I was just looking around like, am I being punked? Is this a joke here?
You should not have been there.
Yeah. I mean, I was, she was a new friend kind of, and I was just like, let's do something different for once. Okay. And it was the worst thing ever. And so my advice to any women that are listening is don't go to Valentine's Day because
I'm for Valentine's.
Yeah, just because you watched John Tucker Must Die at some bad function like 5 years ago,
I don't know I'm not familiar.
Doesn't mean that everybody else needs to shut it down. Let me ask you this question though. So you were invited as a third party to that function, Linz,
correct?
Right? How many total humans were there?
Probably like 10 to 12, maybe. I'll say 10.
That's a lot.
Were there any non-women there?
No, it was all women.
No,
That's
it's Valentine's
Day.
Again, I'm just
for
asking.
the gals.
You never know. People
and I'm
show
assuming
up to
everyone
things.
was single, but I don't remember. I don't really remember. But it was more of like an anti-Valentine's Day thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I started seeing it this year on social media. Everything is on social media, right?
Yeah.
So like you start seeing girls going to Galentine's, like end of the weekend or like right around Super Bowl. It was like I know one friend of mine who doesn't know anything about sports on her Instagram. They did a Galentine's on Super Bowl Sunday. I'm like, that's cool.
That's a great day to do that. Yeah,
it's a great thing to do if you are with your real friends. But if you're doing it for like we hate men today, forget it.
Yeah, that's what it was very. Yeah, it's just not my thing.
You don't know what John Tucker Must Die is as a movie?
I don't.
Is that the Lindsay Lohan?
I think she might be in that.
Okay.
It's very much from an era that I kind of forgotten in my life. But anyway.
So do you guys celebrate Valentine's Day, like, with your immediate
Every day
family?
is Valentine's Day,
Okay.
Linz. Every day.
Like, do you get your kids, do you get your daughter a Valentine for Valentine's Day, Beto? You get her,
No,
like,
I
a
didn't see her
card or
'cause
anything?
I'm over here. So, like, my daughter is very non-girly girl, but I make sure that, we remind her that she's loved and happy Valentine's Day. So her birthday is actually next week, so we'll do some stuff with her. But I didn't see her today, so or else I would have got her flowers when I took her to school. But like I said earlier, like, I always make sure that the kids would get their mom Valentine's presents.
Yeah.
Like
Valentine's
the
Day is
flowers.
great in the gift-giving department. If you like giving gifts, I enjoy giving gifts on Valentine's Day. That's something to do. But I will tell you what I feel most strongly about on Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is the most traumatic childhood holiday there is.
Oh, yeah,
we
you're
talked
right.
about this today.
You're right.
25,000 miles. Nautical miles at that, kiddos. Like, bro, I mean, because we're all old enough here that, like, mandatory Valentines for the class were not a thing.
Right. You just made the boxes, and then if you wanted to put someone a Valentine in their box, you did. There was no mandate whatsoever. And so it was like, if you didn't
there's
get one.
mandatory now?
Yes.
Yeah, everyone gets one. It's all fair.
The participation trophies are no joke on Valentine's Day, Beto.
Oh, I just remember, we talked about this morning at our Golden Boy Fighter meetings, like how the trauma you had in elementary. Remember, I went to elementary in the 80s. So you would go buy your elementary card, your Valentine's cards, but sometimes the pack was 20 and there was 24 people in the room. It's like, what do you do? Like, do you leave 4 people out or do you buy another one?
Okay,
Like,
so I got a question for you guys. Once you got to a point, I do remember maybe being in like 5th grade or 6th grade when we were doing Valentines, and you get the box of Valentines. Let's say mine was like Star Wars, and there's probably 4 or 5 of them that repeat themselves, right? And there's that one page of them that was like kind of a mushy saying where like they'll be like, you're great, or
Deep lore here.
You're an awesome friend, but one of them was like mushy, like I love you. And you'd be like, oh, I have to be super careful about who I give that one to, or you would not give that one out at all.
Hold on.
I never saw those.
Who'd you give that one to, and why does he still follow you on Facebook?
I don't know.
I mean, because that's like the vibe of that. Like, you give that to the wrong person, and you got somebody.
Don't you think that people,
obsessed with you for the rest of their
someone
life.
might take it the wrong way? So you got to be careful about that.
Yeah, that's hugely important. Are you kidding me?
You guys don't remember doing that?
Mushy is a funny word.
I never saw the mushy ones. What I like though is that how everybody
more like generic now. I think.
No, I get it.
Yeah, it's very generic and like very neutral. But like I like a lot of the memes. People are funny out there, right? You see the one like Crypto has some like memes about LeBron and like Andre Kopitar, like for Valentine's, right? So you're getting creative with it. Like Golden Boy put one up today. Will you be my KO? Stuff like that, or like, you want boxing tickets, stuff like that. So it's cool. Like, again, as hard as I am on the outside, I'm still like thoughtful and like romantic.
Oh,
when it
is that
comes to
right?
something. If I have somebody, that's this, or like.
Do you
I'm
have
all
a
about
box of chocolates at home?
Look, I actually wore a heart today.
Oh,
so did I.
So I have a heart.
Snoopy heart sweatshirt.
Carlita, our director of operations, who is in law school, actually made little heart valentines for everybody and gave us a box. So I was like, Carlita, I'm gonna put it on my suit when I'm doing the interviews at the weigh-in. So I had my little heart on my. So if you see my Instagram, it's out there. Like, if you see why, I wore velvet today, baby.
Is that right?
What is that? Is that velvet?
You know what? If you're wearing velvet on Valentine's Day, you get to call yourself Bobby Valentino. That's what we need right now. You know what I'm saying? Big Lindsay energy right there with Bobby Valentino. What is the best Valentine's Day gift you've ever seen gifted, donated, or done, Lindsay?
I'm going to have to think about that one.
It's tough because it's kind of a corny holiday. That's the
It
problem.
is. It is.
Is that like for all of the heartfelt
A lot of
sentiment
pressure for the fellas.
and emotional sort of setups that there are, it is very much the most hallmarked of all holidays, which I think can actually detract from sending the actual messages that you want. You know what I'm saying? Because there's all this like goofy, it's like a Hallmark holiday wrapped in Christmas. Because the gifts are required, the love is required. Valentine's Day could be a normal holiday where people do things that they like for each other, but instead it's commercialized to the point that it makes it awkward.
Just make sure you support your local dude or woman who's on the off ramp selling you the flowers, man. Support the local business right there. That's what I do. Right
Do we have any Bobby Valentino?
Do we have any Bobby Valentine?
Bobby Valentine. Okay.
What about Ellis Valentine?
This is an excellent segue into baseball. So I'm going to tie this all together, Lindsay. So Bobby Valentine. Do you know who Bobby Valentine is, Lindsay?
Yes, the singer?
No. Jesus.
Bobby Valentine, the baseball player, the manager, that one?
The manager.
There's a
Okay, so
couple.
Bobby Valentino is the singer who wears the undershirts. DeAndre's getting on that. Stop. That's like his, like he sings like that. Anyway, so Bobby Valentino is one
The
guy.
slow down singer, that's
yes,
the song?
that guy. That's Bobby Valentino.
He's percolating.
But no, he's not percolating. Bobby Valentino is way far from the percolator. It is not time for the percolator. Bobby Valentine was a longtime ball player and manager.
He started with the Dodgers. Played for the Dodgers.
Started with the Dodgers, played for the Dodgers. He also was the manager of the Mets.
Yep.
Bobby Valentine very famously pulled one of the most ridiculous moves of all time in Major League Baseball, where he got ejected from a game, went back to the clubhouse, returned from the clubhouse after ejection with a nose, mustache, and glasses costume. Like he
He was in disguise.
legitimately wore a Groucho Marx disguise back into the dugout. Now, why does this matter? To tie this all back together, DeAndre, who do you think was the pitcher for the Mets when Bobby Valentine, not Bobby Valentino, decided to come back out of the dugout in a costume? The only reason you would know that is because this human was recently in the news.
John Rocker.
That's a good guess and a solid clue, Beto. I see what you're doing there.
Oh, Mahomes?
Pat Mahomes Sr.
No way.
was the pitcher on the mound for the Mets when Bobby Valentine came back out of the clubhouse and into the dugout with a disguise on after getting tossed. Pat Mahomes Sr., obvious father of Pat Mahomes, who
was
lost
hilarious.
to the
They
Philadelphia
wore the black
Eagles
uniforms.
of DeAndre's fame. You see how I did that there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I tried to
How about
spin a
this
little
one for
weird.
you? See why?
Yes.
Local angle.
Okay.
All right. Ellis Valentine, baseball player, played for the Angels, played for the
Mm-hmm.
Expos. Crenshaw High. Ellis Valentine.
Nice.
All-Star, Gold Glover. And then Sedano just texted us, you can't forget about Kevin Love on Valentine's.
That's true. That's a good point.
There was always the teams put out the Valentines based on their players, and there was always the I Kevin love you. That was always a good one. Always a good one.
Bobby Valentino. Bobby
It
Valentino.
goes by Bobby V.
Bobby Valentino was kind
Bobby
of
V,
in the
good radio
era.
show on ESPN Radio.
I mean, the V show. I used to listen to the V show on overnights all the time. I love.
I used to go on his show when I first started my career. He was
Really?
Bob
Valvano?
No, Bobby Valvano.
Yeah.
He was in Kentucky, so he would have the weekend show, and I was doing I was just starting off with the Lakers, and then I'd go. Who's going to be on the radio at Saturday night besides a 24-year-old like me? And I'm like, hell yeah, I'll go on. And I finally met him at the Final Four. The nicest man.
Yeah.
Super nice.
Man, I love Bob Valvano. The V show was great.
Yeah.
When I was working, when I was not in this life, and I was working Joe jobs as they're called, and I was just taking the metro and overnights, I would listen to Bob Valvano all the time. Man,
yeah.
Bobby Valentino.
Good stuff.
All right. Anyway, so we were talking about baseball, and we were going to get to the Dodgers. You want to talk about spring training, Beto? I mean, we're at that time of year.
They've reported.
When guys start reporting, they start showing up to camp. They start taking workouts, and, if they play for the Yankees, shaving their faces. What about this time of year, Beto, excites you most about baseball season?
The rebirth, right? And mind you, because of the Dodgers, it felt like there was no off season, but because Arizona is so close to LA, I have a lot of friends who plan their March around going to spring training to see the Dodgers, and it's cool. If you ever been to Camelback, it's a good setup. You get really close. I never went to Vero Beach when the Dodgers were out there, so I don't know those experiences. I've only heard.
I've been there. It
those
was
stories.
awesome.
I'm going to Vero Beach in 2 weeks.
Who was in Vero
sidebar.
Beach for you, Linz? Was it the Indians?
No, it was I used to go, my family, that was a trip my dad used to make often, because my uncle used to live in Lakeland, and so we'd go down there, when I was younger as a family, but then as we got older, it'd be me, my dad, my brother, my uncles go down there and go to the spring training games. So we'd go to Lakeland, we'd go to Vero Beach, the Indians would play the Dodgers at Vero Beach, we'd go to Clearwater to see the Yankees. I've been to all the Jupiter.
This is OG Lindsay baseball origin stories. This is
I didn't know, as a kid, I didn't know that what snow was, right? I'm born and raised in L.A.
Right.
I knew the concept. I didn't know that people from the Northeast were leaving to go to Florida because they had to get into the sun, right? I didn't know. What do I care, right? I'm like 9 years old in LA.
Birdman, Daddy. I fly in any weather.
Yeah.
I think we've been over this. Yeah.
So they would. This is when the Dodgers were on like Channel 11, right? So they would show spring training games on Sundays. And I always remember that Vero Beach had like there was no real dugout. It was like a fence, and then they show in a bunch of players. And St. Patrick's Day, CY, the Dodgers always wore the green hat. And it was always on Sunday. For some reason, I just remember it was on Sunday. They would show it when you come home from church, and then all of a sudden the Dodgers are on Channel 11 or Channel 13, whatever they're doing, and you're like, you hear Vin, and like, oh, this is cool, right? You get that. And then when I finally got to cover spring training, I was when we were at the Angel Station. You go there and you're like, damn, these guys have been here since like 6 in the morning, right? Doing that work, and you get to know guys. You get to have, as a writer for you, I'm pretty sure you've had some great back and forth with the guys where you get to know them. I remember, here's the one I want to bring up. Vlad Guerrero, because there weren't that many people covering the Angels that spoke Spanish, I would, chit-chat with a little bit. Jose Mota introduced me and stuff like that. Vlad had just showed up to the Angels. And there was a little kid in the clubhouse who was just grubbing Vlad Jr., right? and it was like Vlad Jr. was in there, and it was like Vlad had just had another kid, and he's like, oh, this one right here, he's going to be pretty good, but I don't think he likes baseball. Oh, sure enough, he becomes Vlad Jr., who's about to get paid big. But like those – just going to a clubhouse during spring training as a member of the media, you walk in there, and I think I covered like the Mariners. I went in there one time, or you saw like the Pirates, just different organizations. The Padres were another one too. You go in there, and you're like, oh, this feels different because you could tell what organizations are really investing. And you can tell what organizations are next level.
Well, that's what I was going to say, Beto, is that what spring training is. From organization to organization, it's like orientation on some level. And when you see the way that certain teams do it, and I'm glad you mentioned Vero Beach because that's where Dodger Town was. That's where Branch Literal Ricky, as in that guy, decided he wanted to take over. I think it was an old Navy base or Air Force base or something. And they built enough space for every team in the organization to be there. And that bonding between players at multiple levels of the game, that's how you build culture. And I think people don't sort of understand that that's like what the purpose of spring training is. Like, guys are getting back into shape. Yes, there's talent evaluation. But what spring training is, it shows you how a team does something. And I remember last season when I did that story about Ron Washington and the Halos and about how many players he's touched, brothers he's coached, like those relationships begin in the spring. And so while the competitions, Beto, are like, oh, guys do 2 innings and they're out. Yeah, but that's not where the work is done. You know what I'm saying? Not for journalists, not for ball players, not for anybody. And so now, at this stage of my career, going to spring training is almost like it's just a completely different experience. It's like meeting guys on their own level, as opposed to when you see them while they're with the club, where the competition element and the cutthroat factor is a completely different scenario. Spring training is where the humans that actually play the game actually exist. You know what I'm saying, Beto?
Absolutely. That's why when somebody asks me, oh, I'm going to go to spring training, tickets are expensive. Like, don't go to a game.
Yeah. The games are not even the part. Yeah.
What you want to do is you also have to be an early riser. If you want to get the autograph, if you want to have the connection, you want to see the players come through, be there early as they're walking to the field. And don't go where the big field is at. Go to the backfield.
Yeah, you go to the minor league fields. That's where
you go. Especially at Camelback, it's huge, but you can go back there because a lot of times the salty vets know, let me go to the backfield, get my work in away from the crowds, and then you're working with a kid who's in like rookie ball, and what's he gonna do? Tell you to move? No, you're gonna get more work in there. So always be the veteran fan that knows where to go in those spots. And you're talking about the community the Dodgers built. This is why they are who they are, right? The Dodgers do a great job of bringing their alumni back, keeping them involved. And when you go to a Dodger spring training, you're going to see guys who are in uniform as special advisor or there for spring training. Heck, Sandy Koufax is there. Like, the lineage of where it's at to guys like James Loney, who recently played, is still there. They have that continuity in it all the time. That's why I love following John Suhu, the Dodgers photographer.
Tremendous professional.
And he always posts those throwback pictures. It's a basic like, oh, here's this in Vero Beach.
The Suhu Chronicles, brother.
Yeah, Suhu Chronicles are amazing. And a shout out to Suhu. He listens. The pride of USC. But also, the other day, he posted a picture of Manny Mota riding his bike that he's always done. Right, it's a throwback picture from Camelback, but it's also you can find a picture from the '70s of Manny doing that. That's why Dodger players are riding their bike. It just feels different. It's that rebirth, and then you hear other organizations doing it right. I remember some guys that I knew that would play for the Giants. You go to the Giants spring training facility, and inside the clubhouse, there's Willie Mays sitting there
at a card table,
and just telling stories, and it's like not asking for anything. It's just because what do athletes always say? CY. I don't miss the games. I miss the camaraderie.
Yeah.
I miss the brotherhood. I miss being in the clubhouse. I miss being with the guys and just talking ball. And that's where it's spring training. Like Willie Mays for real? Like Sandy Koufax for real? And then other organizations. I'm not gonna say any names, but they're usually bottom of the feeder. They're the ones that forget about their alumni, forget about the people who've been involved, and it's like, we're going to be methodical. It's going to cost money to put them up in a hotel for a week. Yeah, okay, and that's why you're still at the bottom of the barrel.
Exactly. Fun fact, met the mother of my son at a spring training situation.
Stop it.
Yeah, absolutely right. Secondarily.
What team is she a fan of?
The San Francisco Giants.
Oh, okay.
Let me get to my second point, which is interesting. Based on the Dodgers, based on everything that you said, Beto, Vero Beach, Florida is now the home of the Jackie Robinson Youth Training Baseball Facility. Major League Baseball bought it back from the Dodgers.
Oh, that's great.
Baseball writer Clinton Yates will be there in a couple weeks to write about the Andre Dawson Classic, which is happening at Vero Beach, at that very facility where the Dodgers did their thing. And I'll tell you another quick sidebar story. Dave Stewart of Oakland A's fame, Smoke, who came up in the Dodgers system.
Mm-hmm.
He used to talk about the parties that they used to throw, not in Vero Beach, but in a place called Gifford, because that's where all the black folks were at. And you know how they knew about Gifford? Because they were invited there by all the people who worked at Dodgertown. And that was part of the camaraderie. It was part of what they did. It was part of why people liked being a part of the Dodger Blue organization, because it was not a problem to fraternize with the work, a literal issue for some other teams at the time. The Dodgers had no issues with, because they knew how to make their players happy. I will be there in a week and a half to cover baseball. And guess what? My father's coming too. So that's very exciting.
Oh, wow.
Great way to end
so
that.
The Hawk has his own classic?
The Hawk has his own classic. The Hawk went to FAMU. There's HBCUs that are going to be in the tournament. I will be there. You can read all about it in a couple of weeks, because that's what I'm going to do, because I am a baseball
you're a writer?
Turns out. Coming up, deal or big deal or no deal. We'll see how that soon goes. He's Beto Durant. I'm Clinton Yates. This is Sedano Kap on ESPN 710, Los Angeles.
The biggest show on the radio.
Mason and Ireland, weekdays at noon.
How many 65-year-old sports talk show hosts are there in Los Angeles?
But I mean, back in the day, it was not so weird. And I also think I have broken most rules in my career, done stupid stuff, and I don't see why I'm not the guy that stands out into his 70s.
Okay.
Into his 70s. That's the magic number.
You're Pete Carroll.
I am. I'm Pete Carroll.
There you go.
I'm like a kid out here.
World's oldest Gen Zer at this point.
Yeah, no, exactly. World's oldest something.
We want you here, Ireland. That's all that matters. We want you here.
We'll see how much.
We should do the entire negotiation on the radio.
Should we get everybody involved?
Get everybody involved.
Idea.
Yeah.
Steve Mason and John Ireland. Back Monday at noon.
Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN.
Inheriting a home can be overwhelming. Between repairs and the time it takes to get everything ready to sell, it can feel like more trouble than it's worth. That's where Seller's Advantage comes in. One real customer who inherited a home shared their experience, and I quote, "We had an inheritance from a relative. It would have taken us a lot of time, money, and headaches to get the property in shape to sell. I heard about Seller's Advantage from a radio commercial and decided to give them a try. Their offer was reasonable, and we accepted it. They took care of all the physical effort and legal complexities. We closed within 3 weeks. I would highly recommend them to anyone," end quote. No matter what your reason for selling, call Seller's Advantage today at 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747, or use the website sellersadvantage.com for your free, no obligation cash offer. Sellersadvantage.com.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Hey, it's D4. The best sports trips aren't just about the game. It's about the whole experience. With Absolute Sport, that experience is built around you. Whether it's an El Clasico match followed by a night in Madrid, oh yeah, or a company outing at the U.S. Open, they'll customize everything to fit your perfect trip. If your event has a ticket, they'll build a package around it. So what are you waiting for? Visit us.absolute-sport.com. That's ABSOLUT-sport and make your dream trip a reality.
Hey, it's Mace. Did you know Goodwill Southern California is more than just amazing thrift finds? They're transforming lives with job training, career placement, and support services for veterans, youth, and individuals overcoming barriers to employment. Every donation and purchase fuels these life-changing programs. For more on how you can help, go to powerofwork.goodwillsocal.org. That's powerofwork.goodwillsocal.org. Brought to you by GSC Verizon Skill Forward.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. Just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I think my battery's dead.
With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one?
We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery?
We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Travis Rogers and DeMarco Farr.
Back Monday at 9 a.m. after Clinton and Friends.
Luka has a chance to be the #1 guy in the world, or at least in America. To be the guy for the Los Angeles Lakers?
Big job.
What's bigger than that?
Not much.
And winning championships.
Not much.
Who's more famous than him?
NFL players, but that's about it.
You still think the quarterback?
In this country. Internationally, probably not.
If Luka is winning championships and the Lakers are back to their dominant, excellent self, and like I'm talking back to the old school days when they're running off 10 in a row ugly stuff.
Yep.
And Luka is at the forefront.
Yep.
Am I getting too far to say Luka could actually challenge that?
I think he would be on the short list.
That guy, that talent, the way he plays here.
I don't think it's a Luka thing. I think it's an NBA versus NFL thing. That's the only reason that I would make that argument. But I think it's close.
Weekday mornings at 9 a.m.
It's Travis and DeMarco
on 710 ESPN.
Sedano and Kap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN. It's 6:30 p.m. Big deal or no deal. Take it away, Sedano.
Sedano and Kap. Beto Duran, Clinton Yates. What's up, Linz? What you got?
Well, I don't know if you guys saw this today, but some kind of big news in the sports media / entertainment world is that Shaq is staying with TNT Sports on a new contract worth more than $15 million per year. Sheesh. So that all signs indicate to that meaning that the Inside the NBA crew is all going to stay together, even as TNT will be licensing out the show to ESPN starting next season.
Let me ask you a question. And I mean, maybe this is way off, but like, what's the most money Shaquille O'Neal ever made in one single NBA season?
So I looked that up, actually.
Okay.
And he had a couple years in Miami where he was making $20 million.
Okay, so I was going to say that sounds like it's close.
Yes, it averages
enough.
out.
Yeah.
If you look at his whole career, it averages out to be more than what he made per year while playing in the NBA, which is insane.
That's what I thought. That's why I was bringing it up. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
okay.
So I guess I just wanted to ask you guys, for you personally, is this a big deal
Is
or no
$15
deal?
million a big enough deal for me to do television work? Yeah, that's a big deal. Yes, Beto. That's a huge $15 million deal, quite literally. Yes. I mean, I think there's also, like, here's the thing, is that guys like Shaq, guys like Kenny Smith, guys like Charles Barkley, guys like Ernie, the experience of the show is very hard to quantify versus what it is we like about the league. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you can count the money, and I don't mean to say this flippantly, but the money is worth one thing, but the value of what you're looking at and what you care about the league, if they're gone, is another. And that's where a lot of people make most of their money, is that when you become sort of part of the furniture, part of everything that people like about it, if you go away, then people don't like it as much. And that's why the value of certain personalities is what it is, Beto. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you have to be a personality. You have to be out there. Is it a big deal? To an extent, I think it'd be a bigger deal if it was Chuck who got it.
Well, Chuck got $21 million per year.
That's it?
Yeah.
Huh. I thought he'd be more than that. I thought he'd be around 30. But good for Shaq, though, because that just shows that they're going to keep the crew together. Because Shaq and Chuck go back and forth with each other. They need each other there. So it's good. It's a big deal because, damn, that's a lot of money. Shaq, that guy is a business man. He is everywhere. I mean, one of the original investors in Ring, right? The
Starbucks.
Starbucks he's an investor in. He doesn't.
Are we sleeping on the General and car insurance?
The General. The General.
Oh, those are great commercials. Not a lot of people see those.
He's on everything.
Super
Carnival
specific
Cruise
demo
Line
that sees those commercials.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, everything. I mean, that guy is just.
That's exactly why I brought it up. Right.
Okay, so but I just realized this as I'm saying this to you guys. It's interesting that this came out today about about Shaq extending his deal with TNT because last night, did you see how they did that foot race? And at the end, he started going off like cussing on the air. Like, man.
He said one cuss word.
No, he said two.
Oh no.
He said the F word, which is kind of a big deal, isn't it?
I got cussed at this week. Don't worry about it.
That's
fine.
true. Same situation. I think it's kind of it's one thing
Beto,
he says,
shut
I'm tired of his bleep, but then he's like, oh, yeah, we're all bleeping getting fired anyway. I feel like that's kind of a big deal that was his comment. And the next day, guess what? He's got a contract.
Quick interjection.
I don't even work here.
Quick interjection from the vice president of the Handsome Man community. This is from an hour ago. He said, I watched the YouTube. I think Clinton saved Beto's life by walking in at that moment.
Ain't nobody. See why I ain't
Is that on
saying
purpose?
Speaking of getting
Beto,
cussed at.
shut up.
No, that was a funny moment. It happened.
Did you walk in that exact moment on purpose?
I wouldn't say on purpose.
He was walking in.
I was coming in. I might have made a decision to swing at that pitch, even though it was outside of the zone, prior to a pitch I would have already swung at. Yeah.
Poking at the bear, man.
What? Not poking at any bears. What are you talking about? I was there. Stop it. It was fine. Walked in.
Fine.
It was what it was.
Like I told her, you ain't never argue with people you know.
We're all having a good weekend. We're moving into Valentine's Day. Where's the love? Where's the percolator?
Speaking of
Where's
love,
Bobby Valentino? No,
DeAndre, you need to get that hoodie that Jalen Hurts was wearing today at the parade that says "Love, hurts." The Nike one. You need to get that hoodie.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
hurts.
Say less.
Yeah. That's
I'm on it.
I saw that next to the Love, whatever that installation thing is downtown in Philly. People put up a Hurts sign as well.
That's right.
Good.
You need to get that.
Solid.
I thought we were gonna have some like bad Valentine music today, like anti-Valentine,
We could do that.
like shot through the heart.
Is that anti-Valentine?
You give love a bad name.
Yeah, the breakup songs. You want to play some breakup songs, Beto, on Valentine's Day?
Yeah. Boom. I mean, all the single folks, all the single ladies. Let's go.
This is a Black Eyed Peas song, right? Wow, this is Fergie era Black Eyed Peas. My God, this sounds so dated right now.
Oh, then it'd be perfect for the other shows.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Beto.
I've been good most of the day. Come on.
That was solid, Beto. That was solid.
All right, I got another big deal or no deal for you guys.
What's
So, former Panthers quarterback Cam Newton recently said that when he arrived in 2011, it was to a, quote, locker room of losers. And his former teammate, Steve Smith Sr., and I guess a couple other Panthers from his team at the time, like, took exception and tweeted about it and was like, man, like, why you got to be name calling? This is not, that's not cool. And then I guess he had an interview with the AP yesterday, and he said, when did we become so sensitive? When did we become so sensitive to really speaking what the reality is? A locker room full of losers, maybe it's aggressive, but it's true. So he said that, like, he wasn't talking about those guys. He was saying, like, the culture of the team and, like, they kind of had, like, a losing mentality, which obviously you need to have to get the high draft pick, which is required to get someone like Cam Newton. But do you think the fact that he just, like, kind of, like, came out there and said it like that, to you, is that a big deal or no deal? Beto, you go first.
No deal, because that's what Cam does. Cam, first of all, you see the way he dresses. He doesn't care what anybody has to say. He's on TV, and he's running his mouth, but he's backing it up. He doesn't hide from the smoke. He's like, yeah, let's go. We'll confront you. Well, let's go. Here it is. And you're right. Carolina, when they drafted him, they sucked. So there was a couple players that were legit, but he wasn't talking about Steve Smith Sr. Nobody's going to be talking about Steve Smith Sr. That dude is swole. He'll go after you no matter what. But everybody else on that team, you were there for a reason, right? You were there on a bad team and a bad organization. But Cam, you see the way he talks to kids at 7-on-7s where the kids are talking back to him, and he's like chirping, he's going after him. Cam knows who he is. He's comfortable being who he is, and he doesn't care if you like him or don't, but he's going to say whatever he wants. I mean, look at he did a podcast with Dwight Howard's girl. Like, what's wrong with you? He don't care. He's one of those, like, if it's true, why are you mad?
Yeah, I would say I'll do that thing that I like to do where I will take the same data and information and come to a different conclusion. I agree with every single thing that Beto is saying, but I think it's a big deal as a result because everything this guy does is a big deal. I feel like every time Cam Newton talks, I know about what something he's done in his life is. Whether or not it's him going to strip clubs to compete with other dudes throwing money, whether or not it's him saying that he didn't care about a Super Bowl ring, he only cared about the MVP, or whether or not it's him saying he walked into a locker room full of losers, yeah, it's a big deal. Because he's a big person and a big human being. And Beto, I will say this. You're exactly right about Steve Smith. Dude, I would watch that celebrity boxing. Would watch Steve Smith and Cam go at it. Cam, you're a boxing guy, Beto. Height, reach, youth. But Steve's got that dog in him. You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't matter. Steve Smith, you go the other way if you see him.
Really?
Nope.
You don't like it at all? That's not a matchup you could endorse?
Not for Cam?
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we're agreeing on that. Because I'm saying Steve Smith is the bulldog.
Oh, absolutely. And he don't know.
Who is
you
the
see the way he
player?
talks on NFL Network?
Yeah, who's the player that he was jawing with last year? Who was that?
I can't remember.
It was a receiver from the Jets.
I feel like if I jog my memory, Beto, I've got multiple images in my mind of Steve Smith punching people in the face.
Wasn't he going out of Jerry Judy?
There it is.
Yes,
Judy.
yes, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Guess where
Don't
he
let
is
the suit
now,
fool
though.
you, man. That guy is
You just did an unintentional Cleveland.
Cleveland! This is for you!
Just saying. You brought it
Good
up.
job, DeAndre.
All right, last one really quick here. Now, there's a chance you guys have no idea what I'm talking about whatsoever.
Had it.
But
Okay.
the internet, some people on the internet, those travelers out there, like George, I feel like, would probably have a strong opinion on this. The United Airlines, their current selection of snacks while you're on board for people in the regular class
We're in my wheelhouse here.
are, I believe that they have pretzels and then they have the biscuits, the biscottis, right?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah, they
changing it, and you know what they're bringing on board? The Stroop waffle.
Oh.
Stroop waffle is like a game changer, and not gonna lie, there are people that are
Really?
are loyal to Delta because of the Stroop waffle.
What
But
is this thing called?
United announced today they're going Stroop
Stroop?
waffle.
Let me break this down. Stroop is a shortened version of the word sroop, which is syrup. Syrup plus waffle
these things are good.
is stroopwafel, a.k.a. stroopwafel. They're Dutch. Now, if you've ever been to Amsterdam, I will tell you this. Straight stroopwafels are the most delicious thing you can ever eat. They are made, though, also produced commercially just like regular snacks, to which they are
Those are
also
delish.
delicious.
Yes.
Stroopwafels on a plane.
I had those before.
Those are good, bro.
Oh, man.
Going
Those
from
are
like
good.
the biscuits, the biscotti
To that.
biscuits to that's a game changer to me.
Absolutely.
That's
Because those
Yeah.
biscuits are,
What's
those
biscotti?
biscuits are whack.
That's
It
pretty
looks
good.
like a cookie
Biscotti
biscuit.
is like the long cookie.
You mean Biscoff?
Yes,
Yeah,
Biscoff.
that's the brand though, isn't it? I think that's just the brand.
Yes. DeAndre looked at me so seriously. He's like, what's Biscotti? You mean Biscoff? He was dead serious. Like, I don't want to get this wrong. Like, yes, Biscoff is exactly what it is.
Hey, we know how you are. You're going to get on someone's head, man.
I mean, I always look forward to
I
the Stroop.
appreciate you taking that seriously because Biscoff is like not really biscotti, but it kind of is. There's various forms of biscotti, but that's the one that we all know. It's
like
like,
that?
it's like Kleenex. They're
Yeah,
all tissues,
Yes,
but they're not all
yes.
Kleenex. Yeah.
Yes.
DeAndre, you like that how you dropped the, if you're in Amsterdam.
I'm
Oh,
saying.
Right, exactly.
That's the
man.
first time I ever had stroopwafels. They're delicious, and they
Look
make
at the
them
way he
so that-
says it, DeAndre. How do you say it?
Stroop waffles.
Stroop.
Stroop.
Stroop means syrup. Stroop waffles.
We just say Stroop waffles.
Yeah.
we haven't even heard of them until 30 seconds.
DeAndre, right? Stroop waffle, son.
Stroop
what?
waffles, man.
Stroop waffle.
You
How
get
do you
them
say
on
it, DeAndre? Yates, how do you say it?
Stroop waffles. I'm exaggerating here, obviously.
He sounds like Augustus Gloot.
Yes.
From,
The Adventures of
Willy Wonka.
Clinton, just like the Adventures of Tintin. Is that all we have?
yep, that's it for a big
Okay,
deal.
all right. Coming up, we're going to end the week. Duran, Yates through waffles on ESPN 710 Los Angeles.
Travis Rogers and DeMarco Farr.
Back Monday at 9 a.m. after Clinton and Friends.
Luka has the chance to be the #1 guy in the world, or at least in America. To be the guy for the Los Angeles Lakers?
Big job.
What's bigger than that?
Not much.
And winning championships.
Not much.
Who's more famous than him?
NFL players, but that's about it.
You still think the quarterback?
In this country. Internationally, probably not.
If Luka is winning championships and the Lakers are back to their dominant, excellent self, like I'm talking back to the old school days when they're running off 10 in a row ugly stuff.
Yep.
And Luka is at the forefront.
Yep.
Am I getting too far to
NFL.
say Luka could actually challenge that?
I think he would be on the short list.
That guy, that talent, the way he plays here.
I don't think it's a Luka thing. I think it's an NBA versus NFL thing. That's the only reason that I would make that argument. But I think it's close.
Weekday mornings at 9 a.m.
It's Travis and DeMarco
on 710 ESPN.
You never expect a Hail Mary pass to win and end the game or getting into an accident. Hey, it's Trav with DeMarco.
Only one all-star defense team you can call to defend you. The personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Visit NormandLegal.com or call 213-747-2000.
Don't get sacked by others. Joseph will help you achieve the maximum compensation you deserve. Visit NormandLegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Let Joseph and his team score a touchdown for you.
Hey guys, it's Cap. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt, one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms. Avner Gatt knows how to fight back when your insurance company makes you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope of getting into your home and getting it all back together. With decades of experience and a passion for helping people, Avner and his family take the call themselves. So whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is, you call Avner Gatt today at 818-917-5256 or you go to avnergatt.com. It's 818-917-5256 or avnergatt.com. You call, Avner answers, he says hello. Your claim is our game. avnergatt.com.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold.
Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
There are some things you wouldn't mind being stuck with, like a large unexpected inheritance. An always on the verge of death phone that has to be plugged in just right so it charges is not one of those things. Switch to Verizon and we'll pay off your old phone. Up to $800 via prepaid MasterCard so you can get a new one. Just trade in any phone from our top brands on any unlimited plan. With new line on My Plan. Additional terms apply for trade-in and pay off your phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent are required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text YOUTH to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone-boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text YOUTH to 42424. That's YOUTH to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Sedano and Kap, Durrani Yates. It's time for Dealer's Choice. Dealer's Choice Real Deal is brought to you by Seller's Advantage. Want to sell your house before you call an agent? Call Seller's Advantage. They'll buy it as is with the competitive cash offer. No repairs needed. They make selling easy. Call 888-390-AS-IS for a no-obligation offer or visit sellersadvantage.com. DRE number 091-61-658. Lindsay, baseball. We have had so much lore from your, baseball life. You told me a story in the break that I'm not going to ask you to bring up, but you're going to have to bring it up later. But it's Beto's turn. Dude, let's just say that. Here's the hint. Maybe this isn't a hint, but I think what I'm saying is, let's just say people meet people at spring training as well. This is not part of Lindsay's story. It's part of why she was explaining why other people were there. Do you see what I'm saying? People meet people at spring training.
Good time to meet people.
Thank you. You see my point here? A lot of people, let's just say a lot of ball players, your favorite ball players, probably met their wives at spring training. Just saying.
Yeah, leave that one for Clinton and Friends, bro. You got a national audience for that one, baby.
I'm just saying, it's true. It's just letting people know. Speaking of Clinton and Friends, I just want to quickly thank Beto. I just want to quickly thank everybody who's shown all the support this week. It's the first week of the show, obviously 7 to 9 here on ESPN 710, and it's been a ride. It's a little different. It's riding a different bike. If you will. And, for all you people that are in the chat saying you need a community on Twitter, no, we don't. We don't need any of that, all right? I'm just trying to get through the show.
Just do the show.
Get through the weeks. Do not need any side clubs. So thank you for the support, Beto, throughout the course of this. Appreciate you, man.
And that's where my dealer choice is at, because it's to honor you, my friend Clinton Yates. And this isn't just to pat you on the back, but known you for I don't know how many years now, and the grind that you have to get where you're at. You and I've always talked about this is what you want to do. You love radio. To get a national show is huge anywhere, let alone on ESPN, let alone in the morning, and let it know to do it on your own, because people don't know you're in the studio by yourself, man, and that's hard. I'm doing this show from a hotel room in Anaheim, and this is hard right here. I can't imagine what you're doing, so shout out to you. Great job, everything. I've always been a fan of yours from the writing, and just to get where you're at, man, I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you, Beto.
Keep on doing representing.
That
man.
genuinely means a lot, and I say this as much for everybody who's out there who are young journalists, young content creators, frankly, young influencers as well, which is that, if you stick to knowing what you know and working on your craft, no matter what that is, you just might get to where you want to be. And the reason why you want to work on your craft is because you don't want to get to a point where you're asked to do something and you don't know how to do it, and the reason you got there is the wrong reason. Beto, you know this better than anybody. That buildup of skill sets is as vital to anything as has anything to do with any random hot take anybody may or may not have about whatever the team may be.
So it's dealer's choice. Let me keep on going and praising you, man. Stop interrupting me here.
Okay, my bad.
Because I get a lot of texts from my friends that are teachers that are driving to school at 7 in the morning. I sent you one yesterday from Mr. Altamirano at Segerstrom High School here in Orange County, and I shared the message with you, and there's other messages like that. So you're doing great work for the people that are out there hustling, the UPS drivers, the longshoremen, everybody out there that's grinding in the mornings. They love hearing it because you are LA. You might be from DC, but you're LA,
That's
man.
fine. I've been here long enough, and I don't try to say that to try to claim anything. My point
you're
is that
here.
I moved here for a reason.
Yeah, you don't have no winter coat. No winter coat.
Stop it.
And here's the second thing. See why I made a mistake.
What's that?
Tomorrow, I'm working this fight for Golden Boy. That's why I'm in Anaheim right now. We have fights at the Honda Center, so I'll be on the Zone broadcast, all that other good stuff, blah, blah, blah. I gave tickets to two of the worst people that I can think of.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh, who's that?
Ron the Caddy.
Oh,
no.
Yes,
God,
baby.
I hear that guy's name and I just melt. I watch. Just so we're clear, Beto's not just blowing smoke. I watch Lakers postgame every daggone game, just so I can listen to my man Beto Duran. And I know who all of you people are as a result. Not that I'm too good for it otherwise.
No.
But I'm familiar with Ron the Caddy's work.
Yeah. So Ron the Caddy is going to be drinking at the fights tomorrow. I gave him 4 tickets, and then the dude posts on his Instagram, hey, anybody want to go with me? I have 3 other tickets. Wait, why did you ask for 4 if you don't even have friends, bro?
It's like a Cappy move.
So I can't even imagine. And then Dead Meow has tickets. And on purpose, I sat them next to each other.
Oh, no.
So they know if those guys get kicked out, they know that those tickets are with me.
It's going to be a Jacob and Ronnie situation.
So
right there.
that's where I messed up. I didn't realize that the tickets are traced to me. And I'm like, oh, my God.
Do they know? Are they friends? I mean, Dead Meow knows a few people in the community, so
yeah, they know each other. But I mean, those
I
two.
think he's more like people just know of him because he's always
those
talking
two
bleep.
degenerates. See, Ron is for real crazy.
Oh yeah.
Dead is just crazy on the chat because he can type really well.
Dad is a troll.
In person, he acts like he's everyone's best friend.
He's a nice guy, too. I've drank beers with Dad Meow, so like, that's real.
Dad also shows up in sweats to events, so like we'll see how it is. So, on Monday I might be asking if I could be like your coffee guy at Clinton and Friends because I might be getting fired this weekend.
Oh, stop it. Okay.
Oh no, these guys.
Yeah, well, you know, you made
I can't take the tickets back.
You got to sleep in it, as they say.
So.
No, but
and also shout out to Greg Bergman yesterday. Went to a boxing class at Brickhouse Boxing in the Valley.
Really?
And I found out that Bergman was training with Malik Scott, who used to train Deontay Wilder. Who's married to Kate Abdo. And Bergman, reports are, they want him back because Bergman did well at the boxing class.
That's
How about
excellent.
our boy Berg?
Bergie breaking jaws? That's what we're looking for?
That's right.
Celebrity boxing match. DeAndre, who you got? You think you take Berg? I think you take Berg. Can you fight?
I mean, I feel like
hold
Cappy
on.
is
I don't
probably
mean to be
more of
flipping
his
here, but
level.
like you're a big dude, but you played sports. But can you fight? Do you?
You know
How about this? DeAndre's going to start training at SOA Boxing in Orange County pretty soon. So I got everybody in the staff going to box.
I'm not even joking. I'll give Bergie a little bit of like a fighter's chance.
Berg for sure.
In the just pugnaciousness element of he's not going to lose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I can
he'll
see
bite
that.
your ankles. He'll get you.
I can see that. I could absolutely see that.
Yeah. So that's my dealer's choice. I'm having a heck
It's
of a
been
week.
quite a week. It's been quite a week. Beto, I want to thank you. So you're in Anaheim.
I'm Anaheim.
Where can
Fights
people
tomorrow.
see you?
Tomorrow I start the broadcast at 1 o'clock on the Golden Boy YouTube. I'm doing the first 6 fights, and then I'll be roaming around there. So check it out. But yeah, man, I'm proud of you. Lindsay, great job. DeAndre, great job. Circle, great job. Love you guys.
No, thank you. Appreciate it. You got anything good going on this weekend, DeAndre?
I'm celebrating my brother's 30th birthday tomorrow. So we're gonna
Happy
hang
birthday,
out.
DeAndre's brother.
We're gonna be hanging out with him, and then I'm gonna go take the girlfriend out for
How much blow the whistle is going to be played celebrating with your brother?
We'll see what's up.
Okay. Linz, anything? What do you got going on? Pitchers and catchers report this weekend. So you fired up?
I think I might be going to Disney tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. I made a reservation a long time ago and I forgot about it. You know, I got the email reminder yesterday. It's like, oh yeah, Disney. That could be good.
What a life.
Yeah.
Oh, my brother texted me. Gabriel, the principal, retired. I like CY. See?
Thank you.
The educators love CY.
Thank you. I flunked out of college twice, and I'm still doing this because I know how to learn, and I know how to think, and I learned how to talk. It's okay. Follow your dreams. You just might get to yell on camera and on microphone about all your dumb friends and all the dumb stuff you did your whole lives.
Shout
Andy
out
Kamenetsky's
LAUSD.
coming up next.
Go.
Lakers talk. I'm Clinton Yates. You're not. It's ESPN 710.
Real love begins with self-love. So, yeah. Hello, Sage Spa. Book my massage for Tuesday morning. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
Get a classic car Bluetooth speaker when you earn 500